You're watching MITV, McAllen Instructional Television.
Hello everyone, my name is Dr. Jay Gonzalez. I'm Superintendent of Schools for McAllen ISD. On behalf of the district and our Board of Trustees, welcome to DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. We wish all those competing and performing the best of luck, and we hope all those in attendance enjoy the competition.
Welcome to the Sideline Show. I'm Jake Berry. It's week 2 football. I'm here alongside Mark May. Last week, not a good week for McAllen ISD when it comes to football, but this week, brand new bunch of games. What's your take on last week?
Well, last week, it was a tough week for all three McAllen teams. Mackay looked good in the second half against Brownsville Lopez, but they did fall in that game 26-14. But their passing game really seemed to come to life in that second half, throwing for about 230 yards there in the second half. So I think as Brian Garza, their quarterback, gets more used to his role in there, I think they'll continue to improve offensively there. And we know defensively that they're pretty solid. And then looking at McAllen Memorial, a lot of good offense last week against Brownsville Hanna, but Hanna's offense was even better. They outscored them. I think it was like 49-28 in that game. And then looking at Nicky Rowe seemed to have the most trouble as they got beat 28-7 against Weslaco. But I would, they have some new faces this year. They replaced a lot of kids, but as they pick up experience, they'll get better.
Yeah, and this isn't your, the Brownsville schools of a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. This is a very strong Brownsville squad, Brownsville Lopez, Brownsville Vets, Hanna, Pace even played Sharyland, who we'll be talking about later. They played them very well last week.
Went in overtime, yes.
Yeah, and so, these Brownsville schools have really come a long ways from where they were a few years ago.
Yeah, it's not your father's Brownsville school.
Exactly. I didn't want to say that, but yeah. Some of the other scores from across the district, Weslaco beat Rowe 28-7. Mission Vets loses to Mission 24-12. And, for a lot of people that was a shocker because, Landry Gilpin and Mission Vets had been playing really well the last 3 years, and they weren't supposed to lose that game, but they did. They lost to Mission, which is their crosstown rival. La Jolla, Palmview. La Jolla versus Palmview, 39-19 game right there. Rio Hondo comes back after a 14-14 tie to beat Rio Hondo beats Juarez Lincoln 39-19, and PSA North loses to PSA Memorial 35-0, and Flower Bluff actually beats PSA 33-28. So there are a lot of losses last week in this district. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but it's a good thing for the for our schools. I mean, it doesn't really matter in the district standings, but
and I think just about all the coaches in our district have the same philosophy. They want to play tough non-conference schedules, get their teams ready for the district, because they know it's going to be very competitive in the district play. I'm a little surprised to hear that Juarez Lincoln getting upset there a little bit, because they were a pretty good team last year, and I would expect them to contend for playoffs again this year. Yeah,
and especially against a 3A in Rio Hondo, but Rio Hondo's not your typical 3A in the Valley. They're a very powerful team. But everything should change this week. We've got some big games coming up. Some of the games that we'll talk about are McAllen Memorial in Sharyland. Nicky Rowe's traveling to Mercedes, yeah. And
then Mackay on the road last night against Edinburgh North.
Yeah, and so it'll be interesting to see how we fare, and I think this is going to be a better week for the McAllen ISD district. Of course, you can't get worse than what it was last week, but I think they should play better. They're going through the motions right now.
Yeah, we'll definitely see some improvement, I think, especially tonight as McAllen Memorial plays their home opener against another tough team, the Sharyland Rattlers. This is a team that was in the playoffs a year ago, and it probably expects to be there again this year. We had an interview with Coach Littleton earlier this week.
Well, you always, winning always breeds winning, I think. There's nothing better than tradition, and fortunately, we've been able to establish a little bit of tradition here at Memorial High School over the last few years. And we had a good football team last year. We've got a good football team this year. We have one goal here at Memorial every year, and that's to be the best team in the history of Memorial, and that's what we're trying to do again. On offense, we have Campbell Space back, our running back. We have Sean Scrugen back, our quarterback. We have Ethan Bazan back, our wide receiver. We have a couple of offensive linemen back that started for us last year. On defense, we don't return very many. We only returned 2 starters from last year's football team. We graduated 9. We returned Axel Hernandez, one of our linebackers, and also Michael Morales, one of our safeties. Well, Sharyland's a wide open offense. They're about 62% pass and about 28% run. So they give you some, they're going to make you play the whole field. They're going to extend the field on you, make you play the whole field. They have good quickness. They're well coached as always. Coach Adami does a great job over there. They're well coached offensively and defensively. They make big plays. You got to stop the big plays. If you're able to eliminate their possessions by taking the clock away from them, which we hope we can do with our offense, is shorten the ball game and take some time off the clock and help our defense out to keep them on the field, which will be a big key to the ball game.
I'm blessed to be a parent in McAllen ISD. My wife and I are proud and honored to know that our children, a pre-K student, kindergartner, and first grader, attend McAllen ISD, a district who earned the Texas Education Agency's A rating, the Post-Secondary Readiness Distinction, and the Financial Integrity Rating System of Texas Perfect Score. A district where over 23,000 students are loved, nurtured, and educated not only academically, but socially and emotionally. If McAllen ISD is your district of choice, thank you. And if it's not, consider joining our family. My name is Dr. Jay Gonzalez. I've been a part of the McAllen ISD family for the last 20 years. I'm currently blessed with the opportunity to serve our outstanding school district as superintendent of schools.
Welcome back to the Sideline Show. Jake Berry, Mark May. Some of the games happening around our district, today and yesterday. McAllen playing Edinburgh North. Sharyland plays McAllen Memorial. Nicky Rowe traveling over to Mercedes to play. Donna North will be traveling to Mission. PSG North is playing Harlingen. Roma versus La Jolla. Corpus Christi King playing PSG, and Waters Lincoln versus Pioneer. Another round of tough games for our district. No more impressive of a game is the McAllen Memorial Sharyland game.
Yeah, this is a game that will attract a lot of media attention, I think, because it's 2 Valley heavyweights going head-to-head, and should be an exciting offensive show as well. You've got 2 good players on each side that have a lot of offensive potential. I think the quarterback for Sharyland, Edgar Longoria, coming back from a little bit of some injuries last year, but he did throw for 1,600 yards a year ago, and a terrific touchdown to interception ratio of 18-3. So this is a guy who won't throw picks, but he will put it up in the air, and he's a running threat as well. 600 yards rushing last year, including 2 100-yard games. That's rare for a quarterback, and 14 touchdowns last year. So 32 touchdowns he either rushing or throwing for last year. So he's definitely something that Memorial has to focus on if they want to get some stops.
And last year they won a number of games in the waning minutes of games. Edinburgh North, I was actually at that game last year when Sharyland played Edinburgh North at home, and they came from behind to win that game. I've watched them do it, I think, about twice or 3 times last year alone. They do it again in the first week of this year, defeating Pace in overtime. So, you have to, like, if you're Ron Adame's team, that you play well in the 4th quarter. Now, the question is, will you be able to come back against a team like McAllen Memorial?
Yeah, a team like Memorial, if you fall behind by a couple of touchdowns, it can get ugly on you, because Memorial likes to run that football. They don't throw it unless they really have to, and they'll keep it on the ground and they'll grind it out and they'll control the clock, and that's the Memorial system that's been so successful for them. And Campbell Spates is their main go-to guy there. He's a junior this year. Hard to believe he's still only a junior, because he's been on the varsity since he was a freshman. Had 1,500 yards rushing as a freshman, over 1,600 yards last year as a sophomore. He's had, I think, now 47 touchdowns in his short career career. Big game for him last week against
47,
Hannah.
only
Yeah,
47.
mere 47 touchdowns. But against Hannah just last week, 154 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns. So he was certainly effective last week, but I just think they weren't able to stop the Eagles' offense, and that ended up costing them that game. But I think you'll see an improved defensive performance tonight, and certainly the offense will be well in gear.
Yeah, and I had a chance to talk to some people that saw that game, and they thought Brownsville Hannah was very big. Their quarterback, good size. Their line, they had incredible size, you know, because when you think about the old Brownsville schools, they didn't necessarily have the thickness up front or the height, but this team did, and you know they had the speed to go with it, and that posed a problem for Memorial. Now Sharyland usually very fast, not as big, so we could see a good win for McAllen Memorial.
Yeah, could be. I know Sharyland, you look at their defense, they're pretty strong there. Defensive end Brandon Morales last year was all-district. He had 3 sacks against Brownsville Pace last week, so he's definitely somebody who can put some pressure on the quarterback. I don't think he'll be as much of a factor tonight because Memorial just doesn't throw it that much. They won't even throw it more than 5 or 6 times in the game, so that probably won't be as much of an issue, but certainly something to think about.
Yeah, and you know, we had a chance this week to really go to McAllen Memorial, meet with Coach Littleton, but we also met with one of the players.
Yeah, that's right. It was quarterback Sean Scugan, and is a senior this year, and Scugan, one of the leaders, one of the captains on this Memorial team. We spoke to him about the challenges of playing quarterback and also how often he has to correct people on the pronunciation of his name. It's pronounced Scugan. Here he is.
I play quarterback, and the team this year, I say we have a lot of potential to do a lot of great things. We just got to get everybody bought in, and we got to get everybody on the same page. When everybody's playing for themselves and not playing for the team, things can kind of go separate ways. You know, we got to be together and run through walls for each other. The most challenging part would have to be, no matter what happens, you have to be the rock of the team. You have to be able to take the criticism and just say, hey, that's my bad. Even though if you don't think it was your bad, hey, it's my bad, we got it next time, don't worry about it. You have to make sure you guys are confident, and you got to make sure that the team's rolling well. So just that leadership role that just comes with playing quarterback is probably the hardest thing.
How often do you have to correct people on the pronunciation of your name?
All the time, and sometimes it doesn't even work. I tell him, like when I run track, he messes up my name. He'll say it like 5 or 6 different times, and I'll see him and say, hey, it's Scugan. He'll be like, okay. And then he'll say it wrong, and I'm like, it's okay though. I like to laugh and hear the way they say it. It kind of brings a smile to my face.
Welcome back to the Sideline Show. Jake Berry, Mark May. Mark, you know, looking at, you know, not only McAllen Memorial, but we'll talk about Nicky Rowe on the way out. But McAllen Memorial, what do they need to do in this game to pull off that victory, get that W?
Yeah, I think control the clock, control the ball, hold on to it, don't make mistakes there, and don't put your defense into a hole. Don't give the other team a short field, things like that. I think if they can do that, they'll have an excellent chance of winning this game.
Yeah, and usually when McAllen Memorial plays, we get to go home early because they'll run the ball. The clock really doesn't stop, which actually hurts Sharyland because that minimizes their possessions.
Yeah, it will. And Sharyland does like to throw somewhat too. They're more of a throwing team. They'll throw it about 60% of the time. Their top target, Ruben Davila, who's 5'11", so he's a little bit tall, caught 6 passes last week for nearly 50 yards and a touchdown. So he'll be the main target for their quarterback, Longoria.
So, you know, we look at McAllen Memorial, you know, looking at the other side of our district that's playing tonight, Nicky Rowe. Nicky Rowe's traveling to Mercedes. Mercedes, you know, played a very tough opening week game against Edinburgh North, very close game. What do you know about Mercedes?
Mercedes, yeah, they won by 3 last week against Edinburgh North, and they're a 5A team beating a 6A team, so that speaks well. That was also a road win for the Tigers. Their quarterback, Israel Alegria, is last week threw 5 for 10, 125 yards and a touchdown. They're pretty balanced as far as passing and rushing goes. Rushing, they kind of do it by committee. They got about 4 different guys that they'll give it to. One of them, Samuel Jackson, had only 2 carries last week, but averaged 8 yards a carry, had a touchdown for him. But like I said, they'll have about 4 or 5 guys that'll carry that football out of the backfield. So Rowe has to, be keeping an eye for that, for the misdirection and things like that, and make sure whoever has the ball, that's the guy you tackle.
Last week Rowe, ran into a buzzsaw in Weslaco. We didn't know what to expect from Weslaco. Weslaco was a team that was 2-8 the season before. They go in and play Rowe, who had been a playoff team from the year before. But Rowe really couldn't get the engine running on that first game. Weslaco came out strong. What does Rowe need to do offensively?
I think sustain drives. At times they were able to move the football, but they get it maybe across midfield, and then the drive would kind of peter out. They need to just sustain some drives, maybe find some more balance in the run and the pass this week, and keep the other team guessing a little bit more. But again, I think as they're younger players, I think as they develop, they do have an experienced quarterback, so they're good to go right there. But as the other players pick up an experience, you're going to see more wrinkles in that offense. I'm sure there were some things that Coach Flores was maybe a little bit limited in what he could call, because you really need to focus on what you've practiced and what you've practiced well. And that's something I think fans don't always realize, that you can't just do flea flickers every week, especially early in the season. I mean, you got to work on those in practice and such. A lot of moving parts. So as we go through here this season, you're going to see more from Rowe, and it's going to make their offense more dynamic. And
they thought that the season came along really quickly. You're talking about, it was 2 days, and really quickly, it was a short 2 days, it felt like. Next, they've got 1 scrimmage for some of them 2. And then they were right into district, some of them are district play.
Yeah, like Lopez last week, only 1 non-district game, and they're already in district this week.
Yeah, and it feels like a fast year, and especially in this district, who normally had 1 less team, so you had more time to grow as a team. You're really going to have to find your legs quickly.
Well, the district schedule begins at the end of September, so we're already less than a month away from that district slate. Yeah, last year it would have been the first week of October. You would have had that extra game, but it's you gotta learn more quickly now. It's going to be a good game tonight. Memorial and Sharyland. Looking forward to that.
For Mark May, I'm Jake Berry. We'll see you after the game.
The Rio Grande Valley is built on a strong foundation of family. We honor that tradition and are proud to announce that Elsa State Bank and Rio Bank are coming together to make a stronger bank for the Valley. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
Taking pages from a magazine, been looking for the answer ever since we were 17. Got it all wrong, we just gotta hold on, and on and on and on. Yeah, we're gonna be
And welcome to DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Tonight it's the Sharyland Rattlers traveling over from Mission to take on the McAllen Memorial Mustangs. Hello everyone, I'm Mark May along with Mario Reyna, and we're coming to you at this game. We're going to have it as a podcast live for you on YouTube and also on the McAllen ISD Facebook page. The video will be uploaded right after the game, so we'll give you kind of a radio, more of a descriptive occasion for those of you listening live here tonight, but should be an exciting game between these two teams, the Mustangs and the Rattlers. Well, Mario, how do you see tonight's game, the home opener for Memorial?
Well, one thing that they have to come in here, I'm going to be looking at how they play in the first quarter. Actually, both teams, because last week it was pretty rough for they're not used to Mustang football. They're not used to. They lost big on the road. So I want to make sure that or take a look at them to see how they respond early. Are they going to be flat the way they were last week? And of course, Sharyland, they're coming off of a high. They won in overtime. So, I mean, you know that you win in overtime. It's the last play of the game and you win and you get all excited. So I want to look at that first quarter, see how it pans out. And then we're used to Mustang football, Mark. We've done so many games. We got to take a look at the Mustang running game. That's how they win games. They stay on the field. They control the ball, control the time. So will they be able to run the ball tonight? And, of course, early in the season, Mark, turnovers. Turnovers will always play a big role in who's going to win this ball game.
Yes, and certainly both of these teams are capable of lighting it up. A lot of offense out there.
Yeah. I know I was looking at stats from last year. I know it's last year, it's a different team. But the Sharyland Rattlers in the last 9 games, they averaged 50 points a game. So, you can expect them to probably throw the ball a little bit more often than running the ball. But and the Mustangs last year, I don't know if you have stats on them, but man, you know they were putting up the 50 points. What do you got on them?
Yeah, I think they had a season high of 63 last year, and they went over 50 several times and averaged 38.6 points per game in 2017. Got 28 last week in a loss to Hannah. Sharyland was averaging over the course of all of last season 36.1, but their offense, like you said, really picked up as the season went along, and both teams went into the playoffs last year. Memorial to the second round, Sharyland to the first round. I know both teams are aiming to get back there, and both teams looking to go a little bit further this time around.
Well, that's one thing that we need to look at. That I know this is an intriguing game because you have 2 football programs with championship culture in them all the time. So, and they'll probably be in the playoffs as we get into the playoff season.
And we'll have the starters in shortly. But one of the key players for the Mustangs, we've had the name Spates in the backfield. For this will be the 7th consecutive season and named Spates. First it was Trevor Spates, now his younger brother Campbell Spates. Hard to believe Campbell Spates is only a junior.
I know, and I bet you that's a headache for all these defensive coordinators in the Valley that have to go against the Spate kids. Awesome kids. We know that the brother Trevor's out there somewhere in Stanford, and who knows where Campbell will go.
Yeah, Campbell, just to give you a quick recap, in his freshman year, had 1,500 yards rushing and 22 touchdowns. As a sophomore, went over 1,600 yards, led the district in rushing, had 23 scores last year. And so it's a total of, if you count last week where he had 154 yards against Hannah, he's up around 3,300 career yards right now. Has a streak of 9 consecutive games where he's gone over 100 yards this season. So it's no secret about Memorial. I mean, they like to go with Spates running the football. And also another running threat is their quarterback, Sean Scoogan.
Yeah, Sean Scoogan. We saw him his sophomore year that he was used a lot as a receiver and sometimes as running the ball, and he was very impressive as a sophomore. And last year in the playoff game against San Benito, he had a big-time game, a lot of yards, a couple of touchdowns. So he is the real deal. Expectations are high, and in fact, I know I was talking to his to Coach Valverde, who's real proud of him, stepfather, and he wanted me to send out a shout out to his parents, and I'll get their names later. In fact, I can come over here and get them and have you. It's Roman and Emily Velarde, and they are from Albuquerque, New Mexico, and they'll be looking at this game.
Oh, excellent, excellent. And then we saw the rest of the lineup there, A.J. Castro in the backfield with Zion Gregory, Ethan Bazan, and Sal Alvarado as the receivers. And then as we look at the offensive line, they've got a couple of guys back on the line this year. The left side of the line, and Daniel Domian, who's one of the team captains, and Alexander Escobar. Those 2 guys are back, and the other 3, all juniors, are new this year in the offensive line.
That is correct, Mark. And they just need experience. And as soon as they get experience, they know all they got to do is make some kind of contact on the defensive line. When you have a running back like Spates and a running quarterback like Scugan, it makes their lives easier, for sure, for sure.
And as we look at the defensive starters for McAllen Memorial, their defensive line, they run a 4-3 defense. Defense has 5 seniors, 5 juniors, and a sophomore in the starting lineup. So they're a little bit younger than the
Very
offense,
young.
which had 6 seniors in their starting lineup.
9 new starters.
Yeah, 9 new starters also on this defense. We start there on the defensive line. We've got Zane Sandoval, Romeo Garcia, Christian Islas, and Eddie Ramos, who are all new for this year. The defensive line, average weight of about 233 pounds per man right there. And then looking at the linebackers, they've got Minton Murray, a senior, Axel Hernandez, who's returning from last year. He's a senior. He'll be in the middle. And then Leo Caballero, as a junior, he'll be making his first varsity start here tonight.
Expect us calling out Hernandez's name a lot. He is the real deal at middle linebacker.
Yeah, Hernandez with 9 tackles last week for the Mustangs. And then looking at their defensive backfield, Michael Pequeño, Michael Morales, who's one of the team captains, Michael Lewis, who led the team in tackles last week against Hannah, and Diego Villarreal, who also had a lot of tackles last week against Hannah. And that's kind of a double-edged sword when you're leading tacklers in the secondary, isn't it?
Exactly, but something we need to look at. All of those kids are no seniors back there, and we know that Sharyland, if I had to call it, they'll probably put the ball in the air 65% of the time tonight. So we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah, Sharyland likes to throw it a lot, and Memorial is kind of the polar opposite. They like to run the football. They generally only will pass it when they're forced to do so. And so it's kind of a test of wills tonight. So we've got, it's kind of like a boxer-puncher matchup in a heavyweight fight. You've got the 2 different styles there, and we'll see Orthodox against Southpaw maybe, but 2 different styles as they go head-to-head tonight. Coach Bill Littleton on one side, Coach Ron Adame on the other. And there we see at midfield, we've got the student council representatives, another student organization representatives there for Memorial and Sharyland. A nice little exchange. Memorial welcoming their visitors from about 5 miles away over in Mission. And we see the Memorial fans. I think they were having a space theme this past week. You see one student with a NASA shirt on. And they had a space theme this week, and I know on a side note, the Career Technical Education Department, which has all kinds of programs throughout the district for high school students, they are celebrating a lot of space themes this year with robotics because it's going to be the 50-year anniversary next summer of the moon landing.
And
so that's a big thing this year.
I hear our district is going to be doing a lot with that, and they're also having Michael Fossum, which is a great guy to have, former astronaut, former graduate from McAllen ISD, that he's going to be very involved in a lot of the activities.
Yes,
so that should be very exciting.
In fact, he's given a video, kind of a video welcome and a inspirational message that they're going to show tomorrow at Nicky Rowe High School. They're going to have a robotics exhibition. About 1,000 kids are going to be there from McAllen and across the Rio Grande Valley, and that'll be at Rowe High School. So everybody will be excited for that. And right now, I think they're getting ready to play the alma mater for Sharyland, followed by the alma mater for Memorial, and then they'll have the national anthem. And so a lot of neat stuff here coming up. And let's pause for a moment as we'll listen to the alma mater here. Come in at 1-0, beating Brownsville Pace in their season opener, an overtime win, 20-17. They went 8-3 last year, and they were in the playoffs. And now we'll listen to McAllen Memorial's alma mater. Memorial was 9-3 last year. They were the district champions for the 4th straight year. All right, well done, Memorial Mustangs. And boy, we talk about the weather for the band, and I mean for the football team and everything, but the band, you see their uniforms, they're covered head to toe.
Yeah, they are.
It's hot out there.
They are.
Another humid evening here on this September the 7th. And we got the McAllen Memorial, JROTC. They're affiliated with the U.S. Marine Corps out there tonight. You can see the U.S. flag and the USMC flag. And that's apropos because the veteran of the week that they're going to recognize tonight is a former U.S. Marine. And they're recognizing him right now up on the scoreboard, Octavio Odiavides, who is the receivers coach for McAllen Memorial.
That's right.
So Mustang assistant coach, served in the U.S. Marine Corps in 1999 through 2004. He was a Operation Iraqi Freedom, a combat veteran, so we appreciate all his support and everything he's done for the country. And there we see it right there, Octavio Odiavides. He's a social studies teacher and assistant football coach at McAllen Memorial High School.
And his wife is also a teacher at McAllen Memorial High School and also an athletic coach. I know she's coaching volleyball. I saw her on the volleyball court the other day.
And now we're getting ready for the national anthem. You saw the names for the JROTC color guard a moment ago.
What so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Very well done. Aitana Garcia from the choir at McAllen Memorial High School under the direction of Mr. Omar Samaniego. Great job he does with those kids, and you can see the JROTC kids, all there saluting and everything, paying their respects to the flag during our national anthem. So we're about ready to play some football now. And two good teams here. McAllen Memorial, a 6A team against Sharyland, which is a 5A team. Sharyland over in 16-5A, and Memorial in District 36A. As we mentioned, four-time district champions. And there they are, the Mustangs.
And everybody
up and ready to rock and roll.
Everybody knows that road to the championship in this district is through the McAllen Memorial Mustangs.
Mustang fans excited and ready to play some football here at DQ Fan Field. Sharyland Rattlers, they're coming out. They got that flag there. It looks like all the players signed it. The Rattlers are excited. Yeah, they lost their season opener badly last year to Wesco East.
I couldn't believe that score. I saw that score.
Yeah,
and for them
highly
to
uncharacteristic.
rebound. What was the score in the
like
60s?
62-0.
I know. I was like, is that real? You know, I couldn't believe that.
Yeah,
I
that
thought
was
it was
strange,
a typo.
but then everything else picked it up, and they, of course, righted the ship, and then they went on a big win streak, won like 8 of their next 9 games.
And another thing is
playoffs.
that they won a lot of close games. So they you know, if you're in a close game, look out as you take a look at the officials, led by referee Fred, I think it's Gracia, and then Jose Vallecillos, Mario De Leon, Eduardo Segovia, and Ronald Jackson. And they better do a good job, Mark, because we are the unofficial. Take a look at their replays to see we're going to agree with their calls.
Critique them.
All in fun, because it's not easy being an official. Have you ever officiated, Mark?
I've only officiated youth soccer.
Okay.
And I know that's a far cry from what these gentlemen do.
Yeah.
But even at that level, even refereeing 7-year-olds, you still hear about it from the parents. If
You'll
you
hear
missed
it,
something.
and sometimes at that level, it's the toughest because the parents are learning how to be real good fans. So as an official myself for over 40 years, I want to tell fans out there that they are there to go and root for their kids, and officials are human, and once in a while they'll make a mistake, but they're not doing it on purpose.
And you know, it's amazing how oftentimes they get the call right, as we saw last week on a very close play at the goal line that was almost a safety against Mackay, but they had the right call there. But here we go. We're playing football now here on this Friday, and this kick goes out of the end zone. Memorial will pick up the football at their own 25-yard line, moving from left to right. Memorial, by the way, wearing their navy blue jerseys and pants with the Colombian blue helmets with the gold Mustang emblem. Sharyland will be wearing red and white. They've got white pants with the red stripes, white jersey with red numerals, and then the helmet with the Rattler emblem. Coach Ron Adame in his 7th year as head coach of the Rattlers.
So what do you call on the first play, Mark? Do you call
I would say handoff to Campbell Spates.
Let's
no
see,
need
we're right.
to get fancy.
Let's see if we get at least one prediction correct this year.
This will be my first prediction. So the Mustangs come out with an I backfield. They've got Campbell Spates dotting the I. A.J. Castro is the fullback. Under center is Sean Scugan. Scugan will hand it off to the fullback, Castro, and Castro fights his way forward for a gain of 1.
And you know, speaking to a lot of defensive coordinators that have played against Bill Littleton's Mustangs, they say it's easy to scout them because they like to run the ball. But they do it so good, Mark, that it's not easy to stop them.
Yeah, the Mustangs have a big offensive line, average weight of 251 pounds, led by the right tackle, Taylor Dowd, at 320 pounds. And it's to the left side that they run this on a toss to Campbell, and he's going to be hit for a loss. So Sharyland smelled that one out completely and hits him for about a 7-yard loss all the way back to the 19-yard line. I think they're going to give him forward progress at the 21, but still a loss of 5. It'll bring up 3rd down.
And a 3rd and 14, that's not where the Mustang offense wants to be. But we do know that Sean Scugans, he does have a good arm. What were his stats last week, Mark?
For Scugan, last week he passed for 62 yards and rushed for almost 50 yards, including a touchdown. So he is a running threat. 3 running threats in that offensive backfield. But on 3rd and 14, Scugan's going to roll out right, throw toward the sideline on the right side. It's incomplete, intended for the senior Ethan Bazan, and they'll bring up 4th down.
Good protection by the offensive line. Scugan rolling out to the right, had time to throw the ball. It's slightly overthrown.
Back to receive the punt will be junior Daniel Pena. And by the way, the punter is also the quarterback, Sean Scugan. So Probably won't happen here on a 4th and 14, but I'm sure sometime during the season we'll see the Mustangs maybe pull out a gadget play off the punt formation. But Scogan in there to punt, plenty of protection. This could be high, a little bit short, but takes a big Mustang bounce and will go out at about right at midfield. It'll be Sharyland football with a short field. 10:37 to play here in the first quarter. All right, the Sharyland Rattlers come out. We haven't talked about them much, but Edgar Longoria, their quarterback, he's a senior. He's got varsity experience going back to his sophomore year. Last week threw for 80 yards, ran for 25 more, and scored a touchdown.
He started off slow, Mark, but in the second half he really got it going, so those stats might be misleading. And let's see how fast they test the secondary for the Mustangs.
3 down linemen for the Mustangs as they hand this off to the running back, Daniel Escalera. And Escalera has big room around the right side. First down and more all the way to actually he's going to be just short. He's at the 41-yard line. He needs the 40. So it'll be 2nd and 1.
And on that play, the right side of the offensive line for the Rattlers taking charge. Great big push.
And a shotgun snap. This is going to be a sweep to the left. And the Mustangs have that one. Great tackle there by the cornerback, Diego Villarreal. Off a run by Hector Zavala.
Diego Villarreal doing a good play of fending off the receiver that was trying to block him. And it's a 3rd and 2 situation.
Yeah, they lost a yard. Villarreal doing a great job from his cornerback spot on the right side. Again, the Mustangs with 3 down linemen. So they've gone to a 3-4 here, and they're slowly going. 4 receivers in there for Sharyland. Shotgun snap. Longoria keeps it himself, has the first down. So he runs to the right, up to about the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7 on 3rd and 2.
And that's what the pressure of the spread offense does to you, Mark. Do you try to stop the pass, or do you try to put a lot of defensive players in the box? And there's a hurry-up offense.
Yes, no huddle there. They're actually going to have him down at the 36, but still a first down. Here's a flanker screen to the left side. This is caught by Ruben Davila, their leading receiver from last week. There's Mr. Dairy Queen, Mr. Blizzard there in the crowd, enjoying the game here at DQ Fan Field. And it's a gain of 4 on the play. Second down and 6. 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Longoria wants a quarterback draw, but there's nothing there. Now trying to bounce it outside. Has some room there to the right. Crosses the 30. First down, bounced out of bounds at about the 23. So good play by Longoria to improvise on a broken play.
Yes, sir. And that tells you the athletic ability that he has. That play was going for nothing, and he did a good job of setting up a couple of Memorial defenders, and then he shows you his speed on the outside for a first down.
And Longoria is going to throw this ball toward the end zone. It's caught at about the 3-yard line, and it's going to be a 1st and goal. That's out of the backfield was Adrian Solis. Solis is a hybrid player, plays running back and receiver. Lined up as a receiver that time.
And all the credit goes to Solis, Mark. That ball was actually underthrown. As you take a look, weren't able to see it on the replay. He came back for it, and not only did he come back for it, he was on his knees. He slipped, but was able to make that reception. 1st and goal.
So they convert on 3rd down, 1st and goal at the 3, and Longoria keeping this right side, knifes his way forward to the 1-yard line before he's brought down by the Mustangs. That was a defensive tackle there, Axel Hernandez, or rather middle linebacker Axel Hernandez. 2nd down and goal at the 1.
Oh boy, when you're at 2nd and 1, Mark, I wonder what the percentages are that you're going to score 6 points when you have 3 downs. 2nd and 1. Tough situation for the Mustang defense early on here in the first quarter.
High snap goes over the quarterback's head. Longoria chases it, picks it up at the 20, then throws the football. This might be an intentional grounding. Just as he was hit and went down, a flag has come down in that area, and this will probably be an intentional grounding. So a big play there by the Mustang defense.
Absolutely not what the Rattler offense needed, intentional grounding. But Mark, I was wondering if Longoria was going to try to throw the pass, but he had to be outside the hash marks, and he was not. But what a smart play, even though it didn't work out. First of all, on the high snap, Longoria thinking very smart to try to see if he could get the ball back to the line of scrimmage. And let's give credit to number 13. He was there in a hurry. Michael Morales, who had 81 stops last year on defense.
Excellent. Hernandez, middle linebacker, getting in there too. Put pressure on him.
Now it's just saying that 2nd and 1, the odds are real high to score, and then you have a miscue.
3rd down and goal from the 21-yard line. Shotgun snap, good protection. LaGuardia throws it right side, caught at the 10, and then down right there at about the 6-yard line is number 6, Davila. And I think, was that Morales on the tackle
Michael
again?
Morales again, and I don't know if he was going to get there. The receiver was open. Michael Morales doing a good job of closing down real quickly and making that sure tackle. If he doesn't make that tackle, it's 6 points for the Rattlers. And they're going to go for a field goal, Mark. The field goal kicker last week, let's not forget, he won the game. Oscar Valdez. He is a backup quarterback.
And his kick is no good. Kick from 24 yards out is wide to the right and no good. And so Sharyland, who had a 1st and goal at the 3-yard line, a 2nd goal at the 1, comes away with no points. 7:20 to play here in the 1st quarter. Still no score, and Memorial takes over on downs.
And for the 2nd possession for the Mustangs, we'll see if they'll start off with some kind of running play to try to get Campbell Spates going. I don't know, there's many games where he has negative yards so far. Correct, Mark? That play that he lost yardage?
Yeah, I don't think anywhere he's had negative yards. He's had 100-yard games in 19 of his 24 career varsity games. Spates dotting the I right now, and Spates will get this call and dodges forward, and a Sharyland Rattler just crashes in on him like a ton of bricks, and it's going to be a loss back to the 19, it looks like. A loss of 2 on the play, a loss of 1.
A bunch of Rattlers there, defenders, led by Brendan Villarreal, the inside linebacker, a senior. And you know, every running back will tell you, Mark, that they're as good as their offensive line. You can't open holes. There's no running back that can make a lot of yardage without their offensive line helping them out.
Now they have a wishbone backfield with 2 tight ends. 5 down linemen for Sharyland. 2nd down and 12. They hand off tackle left side. Now it's kind of a scrum moving its way forward up to the 25-yard line. A short run there by, looked like Castro out of the backfield. Or correction, Ethan Bazan, number 3, was carrying it. Gain of 6 on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
A nice gain of 5 to make it a reasonable down. Mark at 3rd and 5. Let's see what offensive coordinator Tivo Gonzalez decides to go, whether to keep it on the ground or run the ball.
It's actually closer to 5.5 they need for the 1st down. Spates in the backfield as Skoogin is in the shotgun, hands off Spates, and Spates hit right at the line, tries to spin off, but he'll go down at the line of scrimmage, and he'll bring up 4th down. So Sharyland, got to hand it to their run defense so far. They've held serve on 2 Mustang possessions.
Yeah, last week against Pace in the 2nd half, they were pretty tough. Who's that green guy there? What do they call him?
Looks like the Incredible Hulk's nephew or something like that there in the crowd.
The green man. I wonder how hard it is to take off that painting.
Probably spent about an hour in the shower, as this punt is going to be flubbed out of bounds. It's a short punt, and Sharyland will have excellent field position.
They didn't take advantage of the last time they started around their 50-yard line.
Yeah, they're going to spot this. Looks like at the 30-yard line, so it's a net punt of only 6 yards. That's almost like a turnover, isn't it?
Almost like a turnover.
So the Rattlers get their 2nd possession. Their 1st possession was at the Mustang at the 50-yard line. Now they're at the Mustang 30. came away with no points on their first possession as they drove all the way to the 1-yard line but missed a field goal. Now 1st and 10 from the Mustang 30. LaGuardia deep drop, throws for the end zone left side. It's high and incomplete. Had Davila back there around the 5. He was well covered by, looked like Villarreal was back there covering him. Number 6 on number 6.
That was excellent defensive position by Villarreal. That's how you play defense, Marcus.
And I think Villarreal's coverage forced the high throw. So yeah, great coverage by Villarreal. We see the Prancers, the dance team there. And Longoria on 2nd down and 10 will hand off. This is going to the left. This is Solis, and cuts his way forward to about the 25. It'll bring up 3rd down and 5.
Coming up, Michael Lewis, a sophomore defensive back, coming up to make the tackle. You don't want to have too many opportunities where your defensive backs and safeties are making the tackles. Those linebackers have to make more tackles.
Longoria looking to his left, has plenty of time. Now thinking about running it, pump fakes, runs, has the 1st down, cuts inside at the 10, down the middle of the field, and takes a hard hit at about the 3. So he goes down. That was Morales who lowered the boom on him to keep him out of the end zone.
Morales is a real good hitter, but once again, another defensive back.
Shot block.
They did have a penalty
Number 53
for the
75.
Rattlers, a shot block that brought down. It's going to bring them down.
Still 3rd down.
That's going to kill them on the penalty. So that first mistake on that snap, and now this penalty is really hurting themselves. The Panthers. The Panthers. We had them the other day. The Rattlers. But what a run by Longoria. He shows you right here, Mark, how smart he is. He's looking downfield to make a pass, and notice he's got a lot of open field, takes advantage.
Yeah, that wiped out a 22-yard gain. First penalty of the night on either team, and it's a big one for Sharyland. Moves him back all the way to the 40, where it's 3rd down and 20 now, and a pass downfield is incomplete right about the original line of scrimmage. It was intended for Hector Zavala. And again, good coverage by this Mustang secondary, a young Mustang secondary, as you pointed out.
Very young. This ball should have got caught, but didn't. So I would assume Coach Adame is going to be going for it, Mark, on a 4th down at their own 40. Try to get a 1st down instead of punting the ball.
That was Morales on the coverage on that last play. 4th and 20 from the Mustang 40.
And another penalty.
Before snap, false start, offense number 3, 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
Wow, a false start makes 4th and 20 even tougher. 4th and 25 now.
Will Coach Adame try to get a 1st down from the 45, or will he be playing field? He can always punt it also.
It could be a quick kick here. They do have the wind at their back. The Mustangs have nobody downfield if it is a quick kick. But they're in a offensive formation right now. And now he's shifting back about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. This looks like it's going to be a punt now. There's a snap, and this will be a quick kick by Longoria. And aiming right for that coffin corner on the right side. It's going to bounce at the 5 and then go into the end zone for a touchback. And the Mustangs will get it at the 20-yard line.
Well, good job for the Mustang defense, helped out by a big penalty.
So Mustangs, again, although Sharyland starts off with a short field for the 2nd straight possession, Sharyland still with no points. Mustang defense holding firm here in this 1st quarter.
And we'll see if it takes the 3rd offensive possession for the Mustangs to try to get something going. So far, nothing on the ground.
And of course, Memorial, they're, even though they just run it, they still have an explosive offense, but you never know when they can pop one for 75 yards. Exactly 4 minutes left here in the 1st quarter. 1st and 10 Mustangs, right hash on their own 20, moving left to right. Going to give this on a draw to Spates, and Spates surges forward. His first positive run up to about the 24-yard line.
And he finally had a small hole. But you're right, Mark, at any given time, a quick handoff can turn into 75 yards.
I think the blocks of, following the blocks of the center, Andrew Ramos, and the right guard, Diego Gutierrez. So 2nd down, about 6 now. High backfield, Scugan, a quick throw to the left side. Bazan catches it, eludes a tackler, gets the 1st down across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Nice running by the senior receiver.
And that's what you want to do, is put Ethan Bassan. They did that last year several times, a quick pass, giving him opportunity to use his quickness. Very quick. I think he's quicker than he is with the speed. That was a good little move.
Finally brought down by Brandon Villarreal, a linebacker. No score between the Mustangs and Rattlers here at DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium, first quarter. 1st and 10, Scoogan back to throw. He's being rushed. He's going to have to hurry the throw. Gets it off, but we're going to see if there's a possible flag there as he was on his way down. Now, Campbell Spates was near the ball.
And that's a key point right there, Mark, on your behalf. That as long as there's a receiver in the area, and there was a receiver.
Yeah, he did have Spates over there. The ball did not get back to the line of scrimmage, but you can see in this replay here, you can see Spates over there on the right side of the frame.
Lots of pressure.
So incomplete pass. 2nd down 10. Scoogan under center. Toss right. This is Spates. Spates cuts inside. Is hit right at the line of scrimmage. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
That defensive line is playing well, not allowing Campbell Spates to go outside. And Mark, on defense, they do have 5 linemen coming at them. At the Mustang offense, they're letting them know, we're coming after you. You might have to throw some passes to open up the offense.
And it looks like they gave Spates credit for 1 yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Because the offense has not had success running, this is probably a throwing down.
Yeah, the Mustangs have had some limited success with the short pass. They got the tight end right, 2 receivers split wide to the left. Pass throw in the backfield with
Delay
Scoogan in the gun.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
And now, on a 3rd and 14 situation, most definitely it will probably be a throwing down.
The Mustangs yell leader there, getting the Mustang student body riled up.
I hope he knows he's on video camera someday down the line. 20 years from now, he can see himself.
3rd down and Scoogan, quarterback draw, has room across the 30 at the 36 and now goes down short of the 1st down at about the 37-yard line. Brought down by a couple of defenders, including Hava Lopez, a linebacker. They're at the 37-yard line. It's a gain of 10 on the play. Fourth down and short. Mustangs in a punt formation. Sharyland Leary with a 4th and 4. And it is a snap to Scoogan, and he'll punt it away for the 3rd time. Aiming for the right sideline, takes a Mustang bounce, and this will be killed at the Sharyland 32. So that'll be Sharyland's worst starting field position so far. They've had excellent field position in this game, but they'll be 1st and 10 for the first time in their own territory.
We expected a lot of offense, Mark. So far, it's a defense, and it's cost by a couple of mistakes. Sharyland has hurt themselves with a bad snap, and they also hurt themselves with a bad penalty.
Yeah, I would have thought before this game we'll see a score like 38-35, something like that.
Absolutely, we talked about it. So
the defenses have risen to the occasion.
I would never have predicted a possible 0-0 score at the end of one.
So the Rattlers going right to left. Mustang still in a 3-4. Shotgun snap. This is a sweep to the right. This is Davila, the wide receiver, running the football, and looks like he's picked up the 1st down on a nice sweep. Had some good blocking up to about the 43-yard line, a gain of 11 on the play.
Talking to defensive coordinator Moises Patterson, he did talk about a lot of speed on the Sharyland side on the offense.
45 seconds left in the 1st quarter. This is going to be Escalera. Sweep left side, is hit in the backfield and goes down. Nice play by the Mustangs. I think Zane Sandoval was one of the Mustangs there. And a couple of others. It's a loss of a yard.
Diego Villarreal doing a good job on that play.
3 receivers to the right. Longoria in the gun, looking right, nowhere to go, now wants to run it. Cuts to his left side, has some room, picks up a downfield block, has the first down, and forced out of bounds in Mustang territory. Great blocking there by Sharyland, especially on that improvisation by Longoria. We talked about what a two-dimensional threat he was, the pass and the throw.
But look at him here in the replay, Mark. So under control, looking upfield, making things happen. Happy feet. Boy, he's got a lot of quickness, Mark. And he's smart enough to go out of bounds and not take a hit, that he doesn't have to take a hit just for an extra yard.
Yeah, I meant to say pass and run threat. Yeah, he picked up 18 yards on that scamper. 1st and 10 at the Mustang 40. High snap, and LaGuardia has it, wants to keep it. Has a pulling guard, is hit as he goes downfield at the Mustang 32, a gain of 8 on the play, and you hear the horn. We've reached the end of quarter number 1. So after 1 quarter in the books, the score is 0-0 between Sharyland and McAllen Memorial. Oh, look at that. We got a Future Mustang up there. She even got the t-shirt that says Future Mustang. She's excited. She even knows the little Mustang hand sign there.
You know how to do that, Mark? Since you didn't you go to Memorial, you still got it?
Well, they hadn't invented it yet at the time I was there. It was so long ago. But we've reached the end of 1 quarter of play. No score right here on Football Night in McAllen.
Here at Bogus Ford, it's all about family. And this has been a family-owned business since 1933. Yeah, it's a long time, right? So treating you like family is very important to this family. We think you'll agree. It's better at Bogus.
And we're back here for the start of the second quarter. Sharyland just threw an incomplete pass, but there is a flag down. So we'll see what that's about.
Illegal man downfield. Ball did not cross the line of scrimmage. Wave off the flag.
That's a good call. Anytime an official is willing to pick up a flag because the team does not deserve a flag, that's a mark of a good official.
Fred Gracia, our official here tonight. So it'll remain 3rd down and 2 after the incomplete pass.
Look out for Longoria.
A snap to Longoria, wants to sweep it to the left side. He's keeping it all the way, is hit by Villarreal and goes down at about the 30-yard line. Looks like he has enough for the first down, but there is a flag down.
Illegal formation. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Wow, they picked up the first down, and now they're going to have to earn it again.
Well, they'll make it a 3rd and 7. At the 37, you know for sure it's going to be, they'll go for it if they don't make it, Mark. 2-down territory to try to get that first down.
Teams have switched ends, by the way, so the Rattlers now moving left to right. They're in Mustang territory at the 37 now after the 5-yard penalty. 3rd down and 7. Shotgun to Longoria. Fakes the handoff. Gonna throw it deep over the middle, and it's incomplete. Was trying to hit Davila on a streak route. And again, the Mustangs had it well covered and forced Longoria to kind of throw it long, and it's incomplete. 4th down.
Good job by the young Mustang secondary. Longoria had plenty of time. And that could be a setup play, Mark, for a 4th and long pass. Maybe now they'll look for a short pass to see if they can get that first down.
And on the coverage there, Diego Villarreal is doing an excellent job here tonight.
4th down.
Yeah, 4th and 7. Now they're lining up in that quick kick formation again. Man goes in motion, and Longoria will pooch this one. Was trying to hit it toward the coffin corner, but goes off a little bit off the side of his foot, and the Mustangs will have relatively good field position at the 25-yard line. A net punt of only 12 yards. So 11:36 to play in the first half. No score. Just surprising between these two offensive heavyweights.
And there's never any panic on that offense for the Mustangs when you have number 5, Campbell Spates. You can stop him 8-9 times in a row, Mark, and then all of a sudden he'll break a 75-yarder.
Yes, yeah. Anytime you have a player of Spates' ability in your backfield, you're always just one play away from a touchdown. And there's a toss right to Spates. Trying to go outside this time. Has room at the 30. First down and more at the 40. Trying to turn the corner at the 50. Now it's a foot race. He's deep into Sharyland territory. Nobody's going to catch him. That's a touchdown. Well, you called it, Mario. 75 yards for the touchdown. Campbell Spates. And the Mustangs lead it 6-0.
And Mark, can we have the replay? But can we also have the replay? I don't know if we're going to get the replay, but sometimes... but I like to get the replay of what I just said, Mark, that anytime you have Campbell Spates, he can turn a dismal 5 or 6 carries where he might have had negative yards, and all of a sudden 75 yards, and that's exactly what Campbell did. Thank you, Mr. Campbell Spates.
There's the extra point try is up, and it is good. And the Mustangs lead it 7-0 with 11:21 to play here in the first half. Extra point by Justin Sharyland, by the way. And we'll take a break. You're watching Football Night in McAllen. It's Mustangs 7, Rattlers 0.
At Lone Star National Bank, we are making a difference. Because we believe prosperity is best measured by the communities we help build and the lives we help change. Lone Star National Bank, proud to be the Valley's bank.
And we're back here at DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. Mark May with Mario Reyna. And we talked about that as the Mustangs' explosive offense. And whenever we saw it there, they were held in check for the first couple of series, 2 or 3 series of this game. Had to punt all 3 times. And then all of a sudden, a one-play, 75-yard drive as Spates takes it to the house. And here's the kickoff, and it's going to be fielded about the 1-yard line. Run up ahead across the 10 to 15, then hit, and goes down at about the 18-yard line. Nice little return there for Sharyland's Fernie Gardinas. It's a senior running back. And Justin Sharyland, the kicker, trots off the field.
So that was a great, quick 75 yards, Mark. Give credit to the right side of the offensive line for the Mustangs. And on that pitch out, we don't have the replay because the system crashed, but also Sean Scugans went out there and also tried to throw a block.
Yeah, that was, I think, Escobar and Gutierrez, the guards, Ramos, the center, and Dowd, the right tackle. Done a great job on that last play. 75-yard touchdown run.
Another penalty.
And there's a flag there, and I don't know if you remember, Mario, but there was a play back in the first quarter.
False start, offense. 5-yard penalty, still first
down. Yeah,
down.
there was one there, Mark, that brought it back. No, they were going to have the ball around the 2 or 3 yard line.
Yeah, there was a play in the first quarter where it was a toss to Spates. It looked like he had room outside, but he cut it back inside, and they stopped him for about a 1-yard gain. I'm wondering if the coaches told him, we want you to run that play again, but we want you to take it outside where that play is designed to go, and we saw that on that touchdown run. But now here we're at Longoria, back to live action on second down. Wants to throw, is in all kinds of trouble, and he's going to be wrapped up at about the 1-yard line. He's going to be brought down by the Mustangs defense, and wow, superb defense there. They nail him for a big loss.
Well, this play started, Mark, with Longoria having too much time. I was going to say that's got to be a concern. You can't give him that much time. But because as you take a look at the replay, he's taking his time for 5 seconds, but he tried to be too cute, and that happens because of his confidence that he thinks, you know, he can get out of any situation, but you can only do so much. Great play there at the end of the play by Eddie Ramon.
So minus 12 on the play, and that brings up third down. And here second down and long, because they had a penalty as they run this to Solis with a short gain, and now it'll be third down and long.
Murray on the tackle.
Line. So that was an 8-yard gain.
A third and a long 19, Mark.
Yeah, Mustang defense playing really well here tonight. Third down, 19 now. 4 receivers in the formation, 2 on each side. LaGuardia plenty of time. Now flushed out, running for his life at the right side. Now throws it back toward the middle, and it's caught there at about the 25-yard line. That's going to be short of the first down, as the Mustangs won't let the receiver get any further. That was the senior Gabriel Tamez who made the catch. And it looked like Michael Lewis made the tackle, the sophomore safety.
Although they didn't get a first down, Mark, they got close to a first down. 4th and 2. And that's Longoria making something happen. Throwing on the run and putting the ball right where it was supposed to. Also in on the tackle, number 22 for the Mustang, Michael Pequeño.
The punter is Oscar Valdez. Valdez will punt this one away. And the Mustangs pick this up at their own 40-yard line. Looks like Bazan. Bazan runs it up ahead to about the 44. And the Mustangs will have good field position.
A little risky there, Mark, by Bazan, but by him fielding the ball the way he did, he probably saved another 10 yards. So the Mustangs will start around the 43-yard line. No. 45-yard line, and Bazan fielding the ball the way he did, maybe saved about 10 yards. So now when you have a play, now the linebackers and the defensive players, they're going to play a little bit safer, Mark. They're not going to be so aggressive. That makes you kind of like slow down a little bit, take it easy, don't be too aggressive.
Scoogin in the gun, wants to keep it. Quarterback sweep to the left, turns the corner at the 50 and then forced out of bounds in Sharyland territory at about the Sherry 47, a pickup of 8 on the play. And the Mustangs running game is now beginning to click.
Cabell Spates was out in front trying to get a block for Scoogin.
So second down and 2. Mustangs at the Sharyland 47 as we have a flag down before the snap.
I do like to say hello.
On the offense.
Penalty of the Mustangs.
Still second down.
I'd like to say hello to defensive coordinator for the Sharyland Rattlers, Craig Krell. You remember him when he was coaching here with Mackay? Do you remember that, Mark?
Oh yeah, I think so.
Yeah, Coach Krell. And now he's a defensive coordinator for the Sharyland Rattlers. Was here at Mackay for a long time.
Eight and a half minutes to play in the second quarter. Scoogin wants to keep it, has some good blocking, cuts through the line up to the 40 in Sherry territory, all the way down to the 35-yard line. Great blocking on that play. They escorted him all the way downfield to the Sharyland 35, a pickup of 17.
And that was excellent blocking up the middle, an excellent run by Scoogin to recognize where the open field was, a nice fake. And anytime you fake, everybody goes for that fake, especially when you have Campbell Spates in the backfield. But remember, Coach Krell has coached the Bulldogs for a long time, so I'm sure he knows the Mustang offense very well.
The Mustangs will go with the wing left, eye backfield. 5 men on the defensive line of scrimmage for Sharyland. And now I think Memorial calls timeout as the play clock was running out on them.
Mustangs.
So first time out of the half used by the Mustangs. It's the Mustangs 7, Sharyland nothing with 7:52 to play here in the second quarter. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
We love a good game. But here at Bogus, we don't believe in games and gimmicks when you're buying a new vehicle. Just real deals, friendly service, and fair prices. It's better at Bogus, in Harlingen, in McAllen, and always at bogusford.com.
I always tell my students I'm a product of McAllen ISD. I always tell them if I made it from being in certain areas and certain schools and I'm successful, they're able to have that success or even reach and do more. So I'm very proud to be born and raised and be a product of McAllen ISD.
Back here at DQ Fan Field, hope you're enjoying tonight's game. Mustangs on top, 7-0, and marching again. They're in Rattler territory at the 35. A 1st and 10, 3-step drop for Stugan. Throws it, man wide open, but overthrown. And incomplete, intended for Zion Gregory, the junior receiver.
Gregory was wide open. He put on a good move. The defender fell down. And Stugan slightly overthrew the ball. He did rush it. I want to wish principal for McAllen Memorial a good luck. Maybe we can talk about why I'm wishing him good luck after this play, Mark.
And then Stugan's going to hand this off Spates, nowhere to go, but spins his way free, and then somehow slips forward for a quick gain when they should have had him for a loss. So in that play, he looked like a wet noodle on a linoleum floor.
That's right, and he should have lost 4 or 5 yards. But Mark, there's, I think, sponsored by Performance Therapeutic. Isn't there a contest where the principal gets to kick a field goal at halftime, and if he makes it, he gets $100?
That's right, it can be the principal or his designee, and tonight he's going with a pinch kicker. It's going to be one of his teachers, Eduardo Gonzalez.
That's not fair.
Yeah, and that'll be right at the start of halftime, so we'll keep it here for that. But it'll be a nice little kick for charity as we see this pass to the left side goes incomplete, intended for Gregory once again on 3rd down and 9.
That blitz got to Skugans as he was backpedaling. They got him right away. He had no choice but to throw the ball.
He got to him early, and he had to release the ball sooner than he would have liked.
And that's how you stop quarterbacks, even at the pro level, Mark.
Mess with their timing.
Mess up with their timing. Unless you're Aaron Rodgers, that guy can make things happen. That's the Dallas Cowboy fans.
So 4th and 9 for the Mustangs at the Sherry 34. Stugan has plenty of time in punt formation. He's going to kick this one deep, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, and it'll be a Sherry touchback. So they're doing the smile cam now. You watch everybody smile.
As soon as they realize that they get on the camera, then you start to see the smiles.
There are some smiles.
Oh!
He's getting his friends into it. A lot of fun there, our smile cam. Cheerleaders enjoying this gorgeous night here on September the 7th. As on the first play, to run a play to the left side, the far side of the field. Sharyland fooled everybody on that one and pick up a nice gain. It's going to be close to a 1st down.
Just like last week, now they have backup quarterback Oscar Valdez. Giving him an opportunity to see if they can get that offense a little bit more consistent. Longoria's doing a good job. It's just the penalties are hurting the Rattler offense.
Yeah, and this is not unusual. Valdez played quite a bit last week in the win over Brownsville Pace. Valdez also a senior, as is Longoria. And Valdez in there. And we'll hand this off to the running back Solis. Solis has a big room at the 41st down, makes a cut at midfield, then gets wrapped up. Going to be brought down at the Mustang 49. That was Mike Morales with a terrific open field tackle. And if it hadn't been for Morales, Solis might be in the end zone right now.
You're absolutely right. That has to go as a touchdown saving tackle by Morales, having a good game. We've called out his name several times. Good run by Adrian Solis.
And Solis again, this time a sweep to the right side. And as he's pulled down after a short gain to the Mustang 47. Be second down and 8.
And you know, anytime you bring in a different kind of quarterback, he brings different dynamics to the game. And once you start getting used to the other quarterback, and then you get a new quarterback.
And then we see linebacker Minton Murray, senior, starting here tonight. Had 8 tackles last week. He was in on that last tackle. So we got a timeout called by the Sharyland Rattlers. And so with 5:36 to play here in the second quarter, you're watching football night in McAllen.
At Rio Bank, our goal is to help you grow and prosper with the right financial tools, quality customer service, and banking done with honesty and integrity. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
We're back. The Mustangs, or rather, just stopped Sharyland's Daniel Escaleta, the running back, after a pretty good gain there on second down. Gets it up to the 41-yard line, a pickup of 6, and bring up third down and about 2.
Tough running by Escaleta. 3rd and 2.
And here on 3rd down and 2, the quarterback Valdez going to keep it himself on a sweep right, and it has big yardage all the way down to the Mustang 26, a pickup of 15 on 3rd and 2.
I mean, the Sharyland offense has been moving the ball, Mark. They should have some pretty good yards. If it wasn't for that penalty, they would be in trouble.
1st and 10, Mustang 26. Valdez calls his own number again as Escaleta's the lead block, cuts down and goes down at about the 20-yard line. Vidal in there on the tackle.
Sharyland offense, Mark, that snap, they were at the 1-yard line, really hurt them, and then the penalty. So they've been hurting themselves. The Mustang defense is doing a decent job, but if Sharyland gets consistent, they could make things happen.
See the clock running at 4:15 to play here in the second quarter. Each team has 2 timeouts. Play clock down to 90 seconds. So they snap it at 7. Valdez hands this off, sweep to the right side of the field. It's Escaleta, crashes through and goes down to about the 16, a gain of 3 on the play.
Should be another first down.
Clock under 4 minutes to play here in the second quarter. Mustangs clinging to a 7-0 lead.
This game's going pretty fast. What do you think, Mark? It's already at the 3:45 mark.
Yep, moving right along. Valdez calls for the snap of the shotgun, is looking left, has time, throws it over the middle into a crowd, and it's picked off at the 2-yard line. Back come the Mustangs. This is Morales at the 20, and then tripped up down at the 23-yard line. But the Mustang defense holds again, but there's 3 flags on the play.
3 flags.
Well, that's in the area where I think the return was.
Probably.
So this might be post-possession, but
correct.
We'll wait and see what the officials say.
Morales is having a great game, Mark. He's done a lot of very important plays. He's going to earn all district
illegal block in the back
because of his play today.
Holding on number 4. Half a distance from the spot. First down.
Yeah, it will be Mustang football. The penalties occurred after the teams had changed possessions, after Morales' pick. As we take a look at the replay.
Anytime you put the ball right up the middle, you got to be careful with that safety.
It's intended for Davila on a post route. There you see the official throwing the flag clearly after Morales already was on his return. So it'll cost the Mustangs some yardage as the ball moves all the way back to the 7-yard line.
I'd be real nervous as a defensive coordinator.
And here they're going to toss this. This is Spades trying to cut it inside. Now trying to dart out its way outside and almost pulls away. He's pulled down by his shoestrings. Shoestring tackle by the defensive lineman, nose guard Angel Garza.
Gabriel Martinez also in on the tackle. We take a look at the replay, Mark. Right there, they don't put him down. He's got an open field.
Yeah, he was very close to daylight there. Clock is under 3 minutes now. Mustangs with 2 timeouts. Going to hand this off straight ahead. It's a Castro, and Castro is hit short of the first down to bring up 3rd down, and I think the Mustangs will wait and see if they convert before they think about using any timeouts.
Yeah, over the years with the Mustang offense, they would have that quick handoff to the fullbacks, and they had some real tough fullbacks that would get you 8 or 9 yards. So you could stop keying on the good running backs like Brantley Stevens and Trevor Spates.
Mustangs 0 for 4 on 3rd down in this game as they hand off Spates, and he's going to be corralled in the backfield. Never had a chance. As soon as he got the football, there were 2 defenders on top of him. And the Mustangs will have to punt it.
One of those defenders could have actually almost gotten the ball, Mark. Look how quickly they got there. Right away, they were on top of him. That's when you call the perfect defensive call against the run. And that's Coach Krell, defensive coordinator.
And a timeout called by the Rattlers. They'll have 1 left, but they're getting the football back. So 2nd quarter, minute 57 to go. Mustangs up 7-0 here on Football Night in McAllen.
The What's Better game at Bogus. Doesn't matter how you roll, just pick the wheels that fit your style, new or pre-owned.
And Sharyland's going to get it right back with 1 last chance to score before halftime. This takes a memorial bounce, and no Sharyland return as they're going to kill it at the Sharyland 37-yard line. So a terrific punt there by Sean Scugan, his best of the night. So a minute 44 to go, and the Rattlers will have 1 timeout to work with.
Very nice punt, Mark.
54-yard punt there with no return.
54-yarder from a high school athlete. Kind of made up for that punt where he only got 2 yards or something like that.
I think he averaged about 42 yards a punt last week against Brownsville Hanna.
Longoria's back in at quarterback.
And Longoria back in there at quarterback for the Rattlers. He's going to roll out left, has time, going to throw toward the sideline. It's caught, and the receiver elects to stay in bounds. Stays in bounds, and the clock will keep running as he was short of the first down, but that was a catch by Solis. Well, they're going to give him credit for stepping out of bounds.
I guess they did because the clock has stopped.
He may have dodged a bit of a bullet there that stops the clock at the minute 37. They do gain 5 on the play. Longoria to throw on 2nd and 5. Throws over the middle. It's caught at the 46-yard line in Mustang territory. That was Davila with the diving catch. That'll stop the clock momentarily while they move the chains.
Edgar Longoria showing off his arm right on the money.
That's a first down. Clock now running again at a minute 23, minute 22 to go before halftime. 1st and 10. Longoria throwing toward left sideline. It's caught, and Davila rolls out of bounds, using that senior experience there to make sure he stops the clock after the catch.
Yes, Davila had, I think, 6 catches last week, was it? Or how many did he have last week?
He caught 6 last week for 46 yards. Had a touchdown.
I was observing him while they were warming up, Mark. He's very quick. You have to respect his speed, and that's why he's been open.
2nd down and 4, minute 16 to go before halftime. Sharyland still with their 1 timeout. And going to throw, now being rushed, trying to set up the screen. It's overthrown and incomplete. They're trying to go screen left, and it's an incomplete pass, and that will stop the clock at a minute 10.
And that had a lot of potential, Mark. It was a screen pass by design. The running back was open.
You may have thrown that one away a bit too, because the Mustang defense was in that area.
Mustangs.
And Mustangs have called timeout, their 2nd timeout, so they're anticipating getting the ball back with a chance to do something. A minute 10 to go here before halftime. Both teams down to their last timeout. Sharyland facing a 3rd down and 4. So you take a look at that last play there as LaGuardia never really had a chance for that screen to develop, as the Mustangs were just all over it. They were all over LaGuardia, and they were already waiting to pounce where the ball was going to go to. Real impressed with the Mustang defense here tonight.
Absolutely, Mark. After last week, they gave up 49 points and a lot of yardage. Of course, Brownsville Hanna, they're the real deal this year, Mark. And they're playing Edinburgh Bella tonight. And
Yeah,
that's
I think,
number 1 versus the number 2.
Yeah, I think some of the media outlets had that as the game of the week with Hanna and Bela. And this one's been a pretty good game here too, as LaGuardia on 3rd down and 4 calls his own number, surges forward, is close to a 1st down at about the Mustang 37, maybe the 36. The clock is still running at under a minute. Officials have not signaled if it's a 1st down yet, so the clock continues to run now at 52 seconds.
That was kind of an unusual call, Mark, because I expected them to try to pass it somewhere out of bounds so they could stop the clock, because they only have 1 timeout left.
Yeah, and it was actually short, so they lose a lot of time there. On 4th and 1, they're going to go for it. LaGuardia runs to the left side, picks up the 1st down, gets out of bounds, and stops the clock with 35 seconds to go before halftime.
And see, Mark, they saved themselves. If they would have done that in the previous play, they would have saved themselves like 30 seconds. As it is, they still have a 1st down, plenty of time, and they do have 1 timeout. So LaGuardia, real potent, can do it both ways. Can throw the ball and can also run the ball.
All right, so let's see what they do here. Is LaGuardia pump fakes, wants to go to the end zone. He's going to throw that way deep, right side. Diving attempt is incomplete. Great try there by number 13, Hector Zavala. But again, the Mustang secondary was all over him. And that'll bring up 2nd down. So the clock stopped at 28 seconds right now. Want to bring in a very special guest. Our superintendent of schools, Dr. Jay Gonzalez, is here. Welcome as always. How are you doing, sir?
Doing very well, Mark. How are you doing?
Pretty good. Exciting game we've got going here.
Yeah, the boys are playing hard. It's a great night for Friday night football in South Texas. We're excited.
2nd and 10 as LaGuardia rolls out to his left. Was looking to throw early, but then decided to just keep it. He's going to get out of bounds, stop the clock at 21.5 seconds left. It'll bring up 3rd down. So he picked up about 7 on the play. And I know, Dr. Gonzalez, yeah, you're on the big board right now. And can you talk a little bit about that? Because I know there was a nice new deal with the Dairy Queen to bring them into a partnership with the school district.
Very excited to be working with Dairy Queen. That is a world-class organization. It's locally owned, so a lot of their philosophies are aligned with our philosophy, so it's just a great partnership. We're excited that our partnership is going to be what's in the best interest of our community and our students, so it's just a blessing.
Mm-hmm. And I know no tax dollars were used for that as well.
Yeah, that's what we're excited about, is no tax dollars were used. We didn't have to go into the district coffers. This was all generated through resources built from the business community, so a big thank you to all the business community out there that's supported us all these years.
And we saw them clock the football, so it's 2nd down and 10. Sharyland at the Mustang 15-yard line, and 2nd down and 10 from there with 12 and a half seconds left before halftime. So let's see what they do here. Everybody enjoying this one. Sharyland has knocked on the door several times, but they've been unable to score. Plenty of time. LaGuardia throwing over the middle, incomplete, overthrew his man. The intended receiver was around the 5-yard line, so that'll bring up a third down play now with about 8 seconds left, and they need to think about this a little bit. You don't want to take a play that takes up too much time and you don't have a chance for the field goal. Now, I know Coach Gonzalez, I'm going to call you that for a moment because you used to be a coach. Tell us what you coached football for a little bit. What would you do in this situation?
Well, it's real important for the secondary to keep their receivers in front of them. Obviously, they're probably going to try to run a drag route. So I would definitely, I know they're playing a little bump and run right now, so they got to be real careful not to let that receiver get behind them. And there they go with it. So the pressure on him right there. So
wants to throw to the end zone, and it is, nearly caught, but it falls incomplete. And look what happened. I think, the clock is stopped with 0.2 seconds left. I thought the clock had run out, but we were talking about how they didn't want to play that took too long, and they almost messed it up there. But it looks like they will have a chance for the field goal here at the end. A good Mustang defense here, isn't it?
Did a good job. It's very difficult, especially as a defensive back, because as an offensive receiver, you know what route you're going to run. So the defensive backs got to be quick on their toes to stay with their receiver, and they did a good job on that.
And there's the half. There's the kick attempt for 3. It's no good. It was kind of a line drive from about 32 yards out, and that's the second missed field goal of the game for Sharyland. So 7-0 is our halftime score, and I think we're about to do an interesting kick here, Dr. Gonzalez. This is Performance Therapeutics doing their kick of the week, and they have a teacher from Memorial, social studies teacher Eduardo Gonzalez. He's going to pinch kick for the principal, Mr. Alvarez.
Well, I was hoping to see Mr. Alvarez out there, but I guess he got somebody pinch kicking for him. That's harder than it looks. I know that it looked on the goal line there, but it's still difficult to get the ball through the uprights if it's not something you're used to doing. So see how he does. Yeah, just like soccer style, Mark. Doesn't look like he's
going to try soccer style. I wonder if he's been practicing during the week. Mr. Gonzalez, chance to win $100. It's up, and it is good. Right through the uprights, no pressure at all. Had the whole stadium and the cameras all on him and everything. And he wins $100, which they'll donate from Performance Therapeutics. Will go to the teacher of the week, Mr. Eduardo Gonzalez, social studies teacher at Memorial High School.
So I teach the newcomers that come from different countries that need to learn English, and they're in my class. So I believe that's probably the biggest gift that McAllen ISD has given to me. The opportunity to pay it forward, because I'm also somebody that came from Mexico and started high school in the United States. So that opportunity to give back what I received when I got here as a 16-year-old, I think that's probably the biggest gift that McAllen ISD has given me.
Junior Second Lieutenant, UVA All-American, Ana Hernandez. Junior First Lieutenant, Destiny Olivares. Junior Captain, UVA All-American, Smith Montelongo. Senior Major, UVA All-American, Hannah Backstad. Classes are under the direction of Ms. Olivia de Leon and Jimmy Hernandez. Ladies, the field is yours.
And the puncher of the week, Victoria Sanchez. The McAllen Memorial Marching Band would like to thank the band booster parents, school and district administration for their ongoing support of this year's music program. Thank you.
I got it slow, bro.
This UIL marching band season, the McAllen Memorial Band is venturing out into the music of Mavorsky, Lady Gaga, and West. Our soloists this evening are Philip Foley on trumpet and Tonto Gonzalez on baritone, and we will feature the flute section in our second movement. And now, under the field direction of Anita Ortega, Cassandra Rodriguez, and Francesca Chavez, we proudly present the first two movements of the show entitled Pictures.
Memorial Band would like to wish the Sharyland High School Band all the best this school year. We hope you enjoy the second half of the game, and go Mustangs!
We're back here getting ready for the second half at DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. You saw the Mustangs come out, the Rattlers came out, even the little Mustangs came running out along with the Mustang cheerleaders. The Rattlers right now actually down 7-0. We saw the halftime stats here. Let me go ahead and give those to you. Memorial leading by a score of 7-0 at halftime, and then the first downs in favor of Sharyland 9-4. Sharyland outrushing Memorial 132-119, and then in total yards, it was Sharyland with 210 total yards to 126 for Memorial. 78 passing yards for the Rattlers, only 7 for Memorial. But Memorial's on the board thanks to a 75-yard touchdown run by Campbell Spates, who took it to the house on a one-play drive, starting at the the Mustang 25-yard line, ran it in from 75 on a pitch to the right side. So ready to start the second half, and the kicker is Justin Shadis. Kicks it off, and Sharyland has a big hole right up the middle across the 20 to the 30, and this could be gone. He's now at the 50, bowling away, now at the 40, and running down the sideline, and he's going to go in for the touchdown. And that is a kickoff return TD for Adrian Solis. Oh, on the first play, not even an official play actually of the third quarter, it's 7-6. And we've had 2 big plays in this game, both of them for long touchdowns.
And Mark, the fact that the Rattlers hurt themselves so much with penalties and miscues. I do see a yellow flag over there. I don't know if it's celebration or taunting or whatever that is. But Mark, they deserve something good to happen to them.
Yeah, Sharyland knocked on the door. They missed 2 field goals in the first half of 25 and 32 yards. And that's one reason they still have zeros up on the board. This looks like it was picked up at about the 14-yard line and run in 86 yards.
Yeah, Adrian Solis spotted open field up the middle. Nobody touched him. So we'll find out what the penalty is.
During the run back, we have an unsportsmanlike conduct on the receiving team. Spot foul, 15 yards, first down.
So there's no touchdown mark because of that unsportsmanlike penalty.
That takes the touchdown off the board, and with Sharyland, some of their troubles in the red zone, there's no guarantee they'll get points now. Oh, that's big.
Yeah, it's not a post-possession because the unsportsmanlike happened earlier.
Happened during the run back.
And that's not a good penalty because that's 7 points off the board. They also had a bad snap where they had it at their own 1-yard line, and then they had another penalty that was real costly. So let's see how the offense responds to that big mistake. Longoria in at quarterback.
So 11:43 to go, still 7-0. Here's Escaleta trying to bounce the run outside. It's going to be strung out at about the 30 or 20-yard line rather by Axel Hernandez, the linebacker.
And you notice Axel has a big number, which was 67. I believe he was on the line last year. And for him to transform from a lineman to a linebacker, that tells you the type of speed that he has.
We're going to give him credit to the 19-yard line, so a 3-yard gain. And here is the quarterback Longoria going to run it at the 20, trying to bounce outside at the 15 to the 10, first down, and kicked out of bounds at about the 7-yard line. It'll bring up first and goal.
Nice run by Longoria to the left side. He made everybody think that he was going to go up the middle, and then made that last move to the outside and gained an additional 6 or 7 yards.
For Longoria on 1st and goal at the 8-yard line, trying to keep it again, trying to turn the corner, but the Mustangs ready. And Minton Murray forces him out of bounds.
And that was pretty close to being a late hit. We can hear some Sharyland coaches over here that are actually right next to us. They thought it was a late hit. We can take a look at it, the replay. It was pretty close.
Yeah, 3-yard gain. So bring up 2nd down and goal. Longoria trying to quarterback draw up the middle at the 5 and now pulled down at the 3-yard line. Nice little tackle there by number 4, Murray again.
Murray having a good game. Mark, that was a problem they had against Hannah last week. They were missing a lot of tackles. So that's something that Coach Littleton and defensive coordinator Moises Patterson worked on all week, tackling.
And Murray, good solo tackle there. And here's 3rd down and goal. Longoria behind a tackle on the left side and goes in standing up for the touchdown. And Sharyland avoids what might have been a huge gaffe. They had the unsportsmanlike that wiped a touchdown off the board, but they're able to score anyway from 22 yards out.
And a touchdown. And Mark, the train is blowing its horn out there. It makes it look like they're celebrating the touchdown. But it is the train that is right next door to this fabulous McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium.
So it's a 5-play, 22-yard drive. Extra point up and good. And with 10:50 to play in the 3rd quarter, we're tied at 7. Oscar Valdez good on the extra point try. We're tied at 7 early 3rd quarter. And it is game on here on Football Night in McAllen. We'll be back in a moment.
A family. We honor that tradition and are proud to announce that Elsa State Bank and Rio Bank are coming together to make a stronger bank for the Valley. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
Don't miss out. Make sure you follow McAllen ISD on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel. It is the best and quickest way to catch important information about McAllen ISD schools. Plus, you can see the latest videos. So get in touch with McAllen ISD.
Welcome back to DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. We're tied at 7 here in the early 3rd quarter. Let's try to score over the loudspeaker, Mario. Nikki Rowe all over Mercedes.
Hey, how about that?
Right now, 3rd quarter.
Nice bounce back game for them. They struggled last week.
Nikki Rowe looks like they're back in mid-season form.
Are they trying to hide Spates or something?
Might be. They've got Gregory back there, Bazan and Spates. And I think it's because teams like to kick away from Spates, so they're kind of Mustangs trying to make Sharyland guess.
I think a 93-yard touchdown against Hannah right before halftime last week, but it was nullified because of a penalty.
There's Valdez's kickoff. He's going to kick this one short. It's going to be caught at the 19, up across the 30. Now there's room on the right side of the field and across the 50, and then a big hit, and he goes down in Sharyland territory. The kicker, Valdez, saved the touchdown. A big return there for Joseph Lara.
Good job by Joseph Lara. And he's the one that lowered the shoulder and put it on the kicker.
They found a nice little seam there for about a 39-yard return. We take a look at the replays. So Sharyland, to keep it away from the fast guys, kicked it short, and Lotta caught it at the 19. Usually they'll fair catch in that area, but Lotta did not and picked up almost 40 yards. First down, the Mustangs run it to Spates, who gets up to just across the 35-yard line, so it's a 6-yard gain.
Quick pitch and power run. It's strength against strength, Mark. Who's got more?
So Mustangs on 2nd down. Spates again. Pass throw the lead block. And Spates close to a first down at about the 32-yard line. They'll need about one more yard.
And even when the defense makes a good play, Campbell still got at least a 1 yard gain to make it a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, they're going to call this third and officially 2.
I haven't seen that fake where Scugans fakes the handoff to Spates up the middle and takes the ball himself.
You got a full house backfield, and Scugan a little trouble in the handoff, has to keep it himself, falls forward, and it's going to be close, but I think he's a little short.
He should be short, and Scugan's lucky that he did not fumble that ball. He was in a little bit of a hurry, but did a good job of securing the ball and turning a potential fumble and a yard loss into getting it back to the line of scrimmage. It will be a 4th and 2.
Ethan Garza, one of the 3 Rattlers in there on the tackle. And 4th and 2. Now the Mustangs, a vaunted running game, and in Sharyland territory, tie game. Gonna go for it here. Wishbone behind Scugan, who's under center. And now a whistle, and I think the Mustangs want timeout.
They did save a penalty, mark, because the offense has kind of been slow to set up.
And it's a Mustang timeout with 8:43 to play here in the 3rd quarter. We're tied at 7. Mustangs facing a 4th down and 2. Mustangs have had some troubles on 3rd down tonight, Mario. They're 0 for 6.
Yes, they have. I was thinking that they didn't have a single first down off of a 3rd down. And Mark, give credit to the Sharyland defense. If it wasn't only for that big 75-yard run by Spates, they really haven't done much on offense, the Mustangs.
Yeah, they have 53 yards rushing without the 75-yard run by Spates.
Yeah, there have been a lot of negative plays.
And passing tonight, Mustangs have completed just 1 pass for 7 yards. They're out to the timeout. Appear to be going forward here on 4th down and 2. They've changed formations in the backfield. 3 men in the offensive backfield as Scugan wants to roll out left. Has time, and he hits his man on a short screen. It's Castro. Castro is going to be hit for a loss, though. So the Mustangs call it a short pass on 4th down.
There's something going on, Mark. The player's down.
Failed to catch Sharyland off guard. Sharyland was ready for it, stopped it for a 5-yard loss. We've got an official's timeout now as we take a look at the replay here.
There was no way nothing was going to happen here, Mark. Too much pressure on Scugan. Even if he would have completed that pass, which he did, it wasn't going to go anywhere. Sharyland defense is really playing very well.
It was Castro who caught it. Christian Congolo, a defensive back, came up and made the stop, and they've got an official's timeout now with 8:34 left in the 3rd. And let's go ahead and take a break. Your score's tied at 7. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
A community bank with all the conveniences you expect. A Rio Bank app, online banking, e-alerts, mobile check deposits, and ATM deposits. Rio Bank, your kind of bank, your kind of banker.
Ever see a vehicle advertised at a price you want and you drive over to get it and it's gone? Don't fall for those gimmicks. Bogus will give you a real deal, and 2 locations right here in the Valley. Come see for yourself. It's better at Bogus.
Back here at DQ Fan Field, a lot of fans here tonight. Mustangs, a lot of support looking at the student body there. We're all tied at 7. Mustangs scored back at the 2nd quarter in a 75-yard touchdown run by Campbell Spates. Sharyland came back with a short 3-yard run by their quarterback, Longoria.
And the momentum has shifted over to the Sharyland Rattlers here in the 2nd half.
Here they go on 1st down from their own 36. This is Escalera running left. He bounces off of Morales and then gets through Murray's tackle before Michael Lewis forces him out of bounds near the 1st down mark.
What a nice run by Escalera. I like the fact that when he was running on the outside, he waited for one of his pulling guards. And he just followed him like a good running back does, and then his hard running gained him enough yards for a 1st down.
Longoria will go out of the gun now. They snap it to him, and he's going to give it on a sweep right side. And dancing around is Solis, who goes down after a nice game to the Mustang 45. Gain of 9 on
Solis, is he the one that scored the touchdown, Mark, on the kickoff?
Yes, Solis had that kickoff
nice
return
move.
that was nullified.
Look at the speed, change the directions. Coming in there for the tackle, number 45, Zain Sandoval, a senior defensive end.
We've got an officials timeout right now. 7:49 to go in the third quarter. 2nd down and 1 for the Rattlers. The Mustang 45-yard line. And we're tied at 7. And Spates with that touchdown run back in the second quarter. That was his 48th career touchdown on the Mustang varsity.
That's a lot of touchdowns, Mark.
Yep. And just barely his, just starting his 3rd year. He's only a junior. And LaGuardia, who ran in a touchdown from the quarterback spot for the Rattlers, he's a big factor in their offense, Mario. Last year in 2017, he either ran or threw for a combined 32 touchdowns.
Oh, he's a real deal. You can see it from here. He's a tough quarterback to stop. And once he gets on a roll and he gets his rhythm going with his athletic ability, he will be something.
So 2nd down and 1. LaGuardia will go out of the gun. They've got a man in motion. They're going to hand off, or fake it rather, and pitch it outside left. That's Tamez. And Tamez across the 40, Mustang territory, 1st down and more to about the 38-yard line.
And that play all started with the fakes. Had the defense flat-footed, didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, first time we've seen that. Kind of a misdirection in the backfield.
Misdirection, correct.
Faking the handoff to Solis and then pitching it to Tamez. Going outside. So it'll be 1st and 10, Mustang 38. They fake the handoff and they hit the Tamez on the right side on a short pass. He's forced out of bounds by Lewis and Murray.
And Tamez using his quickness to turn a possible play with negative yards into positive yards. And Mark, it looks like the Sharyland offense is starting to find its rhythm, and they can prevent themselves from making some dumb penalties. They're going to be hard to stop.
He did have 4 penalties in the first half and one costly one here in the third quarter. Although they made up for it, they were still able to score a touchdown after having one taken off the board. LaGuardia strung out there on 2nd down beautifully by the Mustang defense. It's going to be a loss of a yard, actually.
Murray doing a good job. Menton Murray, a senior. He came real quick. Menton Murray.
Yeah, Murray had 8 tackles last week against Hannah. He's probably had at least that many here tonight. 3rd down and 10 for the Rattlers. 2 receivers left, 2 right. One man goes in motion into the backfield, and the shotgun snap goes through the hands of Longoria. He's going to have to fall on it. It's going to be a loss of yards all the way back to the Sharyland 47-yard line. A loss of 14 yards on the play, and they'll have to punt.
And here we go again, those miscues hurting the Rattler offense. They've proven all night they can move the ball, but another bad snap.
Well, they had Solis coming in motion right in front of the quarterback and between him and the center. And I wonder if that maybe distracted Longoria a little bit as the snap went through his hands.
Defensive end, Zane Sanchez making sure Longoria was not going anywhere.
Mustangs.
Well, now the Memorial wants a timeout, so that's going to be their 2nd timeout.
That could play big later in the game.
Yeah, 6:14 left in the third quarter. Mustangs have already used 2 timeouts. The score is tied 7-7. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
So I teach the newcomers that come from different countries that need to learn English, and they're in my class. So I believe that's probably the biggest gift that McAllen ISD has given to me. The opportunity to pay it forward, because I'm also somebody that came from Mexico and started high school in the United States. So that opportunity to give back what I received when I got here as a 16-year-old, I think that's probably the biggest gift that McAllen ISD has given me.
Back here at DQ Fan Field, punt formation, and the Rattlers do punt the football after a loss of 14 on third down. And the ball's going to be killed after a slight Mustang roll at the Mustang 21-yard line. Fourth punt by Sharyland in this game. Memorial will set up shop at their own 21 with 6:03 to play here in the third quarter. We're tied at 7. Both teams have had big plays to get their scores. Mustang fans, they're happy, ready to celebrate the weekend. We're through 2 weeks of school already. The Mustangs with the I backfield. They hand this off to Spates on a delay, trying to dance his way beside 2 defenders and gets by them a little bit and fights his way up to about the 31. Gain of 10 and a first down.
A rare opportunity for Campbell. It's been tough going all day.
That's just the 5th first down of the game for Memorial.
Some good blocking on the left side of the line.
And tackle on the play by Lopez, the linebacker.
3 players for Sharyland on defense.
Wishbone. Sharyland appears to jump offside. They may have gotten back as Spates goes up the middle, has room, dances through the defenders. Now he's in the daylight. He's at the 40 in Sharyland territory and racing by the last 2 defenders. A foot race to the end zone and a touchdown for Spates of 69 yards.
Doesn't take much, Mark. A small, very small hole. A couple of hands on him. But that's not going to be enough when you try to put a hand on him.
Wow, Mustangs have found lightning in the bottle tonight. Campbell Spades with 2 big touchdown runs, 75 yards, and that one 69 yards.
Boy, does he make a struggling offense sometimes look good, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's one of those players that can make you miss inside of a phone booth. Here's the extra point try. This is going to be low. May have been tipped at the line of scrimmage. It's incomplete, or I should say no good. And the score is Mustangs 13, Sharyland 7, with 5:25 to go here in the third quarter. Here's another look at the touchdown.
Check it out, Mark.
This is on first and 10.
Where's the hole? There's no hole.
Yeah, he had to actually step over a defender. So he wasn't able to pick up speed till he got into the secondary. And then you see him just race by the last 2 defenders.
So that puts him at around, what, 130 yards? Or?
Yeah, it should be higher than that because his 2 touchdown runs have him about 144.
But he had a couple of runs for losses, but look at the kids having fun. All 3 high schools showing a lot of, all 3 McAllen ISD high school students showing a lot of spirit. You're right, you said something about the theme. You can see that kid right there, it looks like a space suit. And there's Jocelyn. Jocelyn is an all-valley volleyball player. It's good to see her having fun. Lots of smiles, lots of fun. It's only happening here at DQ Fan Field.
And it's amazing, that song is 40 years old, but even these kids who were, I mean, the song was 20 years old by the time they were born, or older, they know that YMCA, the dance moves. Those hand gestures to form the Y, the M, the C, and the A as the kickoff goes out of play, and they might move it back 5 yards or take it at the 30.
Well, I don't know. I mean, after that last kickoff where they got a touchdown, you would assume they're going to make them kick it off again. What do you think, Mark?
Free kick out of bounds on a kicking team. First and 10, 30-yard line.
No, they decided to take it.
Yeah, sometimes you want to make them re-kick it because if their kickoff coverage unit has just sprinted the length of the field, they're a little bit gassed if you make them do that again, and you might be able to find a seam and have a big return. So Sharyland's going to take over at their 30-yard line. They're down 13-7. 1st and 10. Longoria fakes the handoff. He's going to run left. He's got some pulling guards. There's a little bit of a convoy there before he's tackled after a 6-yard gain. Tackle made by the Mustangs, number 44, Leo Caballero. It's a junior linebacker.
And Sharyland is running the ball a lot. I expect for a pass very soon.
Give you some run stats here in just a moment. Both teams doing well tonight as you see a end around here by Solis. And Solis up to about the 38-yard line. It's a gain of 2 and to bring up 3rd down and 2.
And so far we don't have any turnovers, correct, Mark?
Well, the Rattlers have 1. They threw that interception.
That's true, that interception.
In the 2nd quarter.
And that hurt them too, because it was an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, they were threatening to score there. They threw that interception that was picked off at about the 2 by Michael Morales. And on another possession, they missed a short field goal. The last play of the first half. Otherwise, we might be in a tie ball game right now as they hand off to Escalera on 3rd and 2 across the 40-yard line for the first down up to about the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 5. And anyway, I was telling you about both teams doing well running the football tonight. Sharyland with 179 yards on the ground tonight. Memorial at 207.
Wow.
And 144 of those yards came on just 2 plays. 2 long touchdown runs by Spates, who now has 4 touchdowns all season. Longoria running right side. He's got some good moves himself. Hurdles one man across the midfield stripe all the way to the Mustang 46. Looks like he'll be able to move the chains.
Longoria doing a good job with a couple of fakes. Well, Mark, if you look upfield, number 3, Gabriel Tamez helped him out by blocking the defender. And that might not show on the video to give credit to Gabriel Tamez, but he did a great job downfield blocking.
Mustang mascot happy. His team's up front right now in the 3rd. And LaGuardia nowhere to go. Wants to throw the football. He's going to throw it toward, had 2 receivers over there. A late flag comes in as the pass goes incomplete. Pass went over the heads of 2 receivers who were both well covered.
Illegal man downfield on the offense, number 63.
They had an ineligible man downfield, one of their offensive linemen.
And
Still first down.
You can't blame him for going downfield because as Longoria was scrambling, most of the times when he scrambles and buys time, he usually runs with the ball, but when he decided to throw it, you got to assume that the offensive lineman felt like Longoria was going to run downfield.
Yeah, that play looked improvised. And yes, that can happen on those kinds of plays. It's Longoria wants to throw, now being flushed out, throws, finds his man Escalera in the flat right side. Big, wide open spaces as he races all the way down past the 30-yard line before he's kicked out of bounds at about the Mustang 27. It's a 24-yard pass play.
And how did Escalera get so open? And it's because Longoria's his ability to find time. Escalera's pretty much a safety kind of pass, and it looked like he might have gotten hit while he was out of bounds.
And Morales knocked him out. Mustang cheerleaders always doing a good job keeping the fan spirits up. 3:11 to go here in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10 as they're going to run this on a power to the right up to about the 21-yard line. Solis on the carry.
And Michael Morales again in on the tackle. Mark, I don't know if you noticed, but for Sharyland, their quarterback never, ever goes under center. Not even on a 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. Never. Did you notice that, sir?
No, I haven't.
We'll keep an eye out for that.
So 2nd down 4. Longoria calls his own number. He's got a holding block as he goes down for a short gain. Had a good block there by Claudio Gracia, offensive lineman.
Another penalty, Mark.
Is there a flag down?
Yeah, it seems like every time the Sharyland offense has the ball, they get at least a penalty on offense.
They've had 6 penalties tonight.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 22 defense. Half a distance to the goal. First down.
Oh, that one's on the Mustangs, just their fourth penalty, but that's going to be half the distance and an automatic first down.
I thought it was going to be in Sharyland because Tamés was kind of complaining to the officials. I thought he was complaining about the call, but no. And that's something that the Mustangs didn't need in this situation because that's going to put Sharyland in real nice position. Should be first and goal at the 9.
Yeah, first and goal. This is not guaranteed points here for Sharyland, as we've already seen in this game. So sweep. This is Tamés. Tamés loses his footing right at the line of scrimmage. Maybe picks up a yard. They'll bring up second and goal.
And we'll give credit on that tackle to the turf.
Clock is down to 2:09 to play here in the third quarter.
He had a hole up the middle, but he lost his balance. Fell down right there. So who do we give credit to in that tackle? The closest player?
Yeah, closest player.
Oh, number 31 for the Mustangs. We'll give him credit. He doesn't even know he's going to get credit. That's Rene Platas.
Second and goal. Ball spotted at around the 8-yard line.
Need a timeout, Mark. They're going to get a timeout because the clock was running down.
Timeout. Rattlers.
And there are the Prancers.
Sharyland will use their first timeout with minute 57 to go here in the third quarter. You see the Prancers who gave a terrific halftime performance tonight. And kicking the YMCA in here once again. And all their majesty. Miss Olympia De Leon and Mr. Jimmy Hernandez, their coaches, do an excellent job over there at Memorial High School. So minute 57 to go here in the third. Mustangs up by 6. 13-7. Sharyland threatening with a second and goal from the 8-yard line. LaGuardia wants to keep it, trying to go outside. He breaks one tackle, now breaks another tackle, hit at the 5 and finally forced down. Took 4 Mustangs to finally bring him down. He's a tough runner. The Mustang defense rising to the occasion and forcing a third down and goal.
Like any runner, Mark, once you have an opportunity for a touchdown, you have a tendency to run hard. Take a look at LaGuardia here, how many hits he took. 1, and then a 2, 3, 4. The last one for the Mustangs was Eddie Ramon.
Clock is stopped at a minute, or actually he's moving at a minute 40. And third and goal. 2 men in the backfield on either side of LaGuardia. He's going to hand off this here. Looks like Solis left side. Plenty of space. Touchdown. So Adrian Solis goes in for the touchdown. His first of the season. With a minute 30 to go here in the third quarter.
Did he not get a
ties it up 13-13.
Is that his second touchdown of the day? Is he the one that did the kickoff for a touchdown?
Yeah, he had the kickoff return that was called back.
Oh, that's true. I keep giving him credit when they called it back on that unsportsmanlike penalty.
And here's the extra point try is up and it is good. And Sharyland takes the lead, 14-13. So Solis's touchdown run right here. He had some great blocking there as he went untouched into the end zone. Picked up a Davila with a downfield block. And of course the offensive line doing an excellent job for Sharyland. And they have the lead 14-13. We'll take a break. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
At Lone Star National Bank, we are making a difference Because we believe prosperity is best measured by the communities we help build and the lives we help change. Lone Star National Bank, proud to be the Valley's bank.
Welcome back to DQ Fan Field. Mark May with Mario Ruena. That was a 9-play, 70-yard drive by the Rattlers. Took about 4 minutes off the clock. A 5-yard run on 3rd and goal by Adrian Solis. And the extra point puts the Rattlers up 14-13.
At that time,
with the extra point try.
The Rattlers didn't hurt themselves, Mark, and that's why they finally got their points.
And the Mustangs with a costly unsportsmanlike penalty on that drive as well. They gave them a 1st and goal at the 9. As here's the kickoff, fielded by Gregory. Gregory sheds one tackler at the 20. Now has room at the 30. Got some blocking up across to the 37-yard line. Excellent return there by the junior receiver.
He sure did. Gregory.
The Mustangs will have great field position with 1:20 to go in the 3rd quarter. They're trailing by a point.
When you know that Coach Krell, defensive coordinator Mark, you know that the Mustangs are having no success passing. They've had a lot of success blitzing. So you know they're going to put a lot of defenders in the box. They're going to try to make the Mustangs pass.
So I'll go with a wishbone backfield, and now we've got movement.
Before the snap,
be a flag.
false start offense, number 83.
So the ball moves back 5 yards to the 32 to be 1st and 15. Mustangs going right to left, wearing their home navy jerseys and pants. Sharyland in white and red as Spates off tackle left side, spins around one blocker, is hit again as he keeps turning forward, goes all the way up to the 40-yard line, gets the penalty yardage back plus 3 more.
No other runner can do that, what we just saw.
Yeah, 8-yard run there by the junior running back. Mustangs, both teams over 200 yards rushing in this game. Mustangs at 215, Sharyland at 205. There we see our school board president, Mr. Daniel Vela there on the right.
He's saying hello.
Owner Lee's Pharmacy, and we appreciate him. All the support from the school board. So we see here on 2nd down and 7, Spates again is only able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Brandon McAllen on the tackle. And Mark, this defense is real impressive. A bunch of kids in on the tackle. It's not always the same one. Campbell Spates earning all the yards he's getting today. He's really having to work real hard, Mark.
He does have his 10th consecutive 100-yard gain. But yeah, it's been tough running mostly for him. Brandon Villarreal won the tackle on that last play. 3rd down and 6. Mustangs 0 for 6 on 3rd down tonight. Here's the blitz. Scogan forced out. He's going to keep it across the 40 as the horn sounds, and Scogan is spun out of bounds. It looks like he's going to be short. He's going to be at about the 45-yard line, and he'll be about 2 yards short of the 1st down as time expires in the 3rd quarter. So decision time coming up for Coach Bill Littleton as it's Sharyland 14, Memorial 13 after the 3rd quarter. Let's go and take a break. Be back with the 4th quarter. It's going to be exciting, so stay with us. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
DQ Fanfield.
And welcome back. It's 4th down for the Mustangs, who appear to be going for it. They switched ends, now going left to right. 4th and 2 at their own 45-yard line. This is risky. They hand it off. Spates hit in the backfield. He's not going to get there. Doesn't even get back to the line of scrimmage. A loss of a yard and a terrific read there by the Sharyland defense.
That line for the Sharyland Rattlers are actually controlling the line of scrimmage, Mark. Lots of penetration right up the middle, led by, what number was that? 20. Finally, number 5, Mark. He came up from his linebacker position, Brandon
Sideline
Belial.
warning on Memorial.
Both teams have received sideline warnings in this game. Well, now the Mustang defense will have to step up as their team is trailing by 1 point, and Sharyland has the ball in Mustang territory at the 44-yard line.
And in their last possessions, Mark, as you will recall, they had problems stopping that offense led by Edgar Longoria. Also having a good night is Daniel Escalera.
So Longoria out of the shotgun. Going to hand this off, or rather keep it himself, going right side. He faked it to Escalera and keeps it himself. It is close to a first down. Is up near the 36-yard line. I think they'll spot him at just short of the 36. It'll bring up 2nd down and 2.
Edgar Longoria, check out that fake, Mark. He even faked you out, didn't he?
Mm-hmm.
He also had the ability to pitch out, but decided to keep it 2nd and 2.
Yeah, he had a pitch man on the right. Well, they'll put a man in motion. They've been using a lot of motion in this second half, so they give it to Escalera this time. And he looks like he's close to the first down. And no more. Mustangs bring him down after about a 3-yard gain. I'll move the chains. They're at the Mustang 33.
The only thing that stopped a couple of the Sharyland offense has been penalties and bad snaps.
The play clock at 16 seconds. So Rattlers getting their signal from the sideline. Now they'll spread out. 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Play clock at 5 seconds as they snap it. Longoria is going to keep it himself, trying to get outside to the left. Picks up a block from Davila, and the Mustangs smoked that one out. And the tackle on the play made there by the linebacker,
Caballero gets credit for the tackle, but other Mustangs were there to make sure that that play went nowhere.
At the end of just 2 on the play. That's 2nd down and 8. Clock is stopped at 10:41 to play in the 4th. And here they're going to give it to Solis, trying to get outside to the wide side of the field. Mustangs have that red, and he's going to get nailed for a loss. Great play by the Mustangs, who now come up with the football, but I think they're going to rule Solis was down.
But Michael Morales, once again, Mark, he has close down speed. He wasn't even close to the play, and all of a sudden he appeared. Michael Morales.
That's minus
Check it out,
5
Mark.
yards.
Where was he? And then all of a sudden, here he comes. Also in the play there, number 22.
Boy, I'm
Michael
not so
Pequeño.
sure that the ball did not come out, because it looked like the ball was loose at about the same time that he was headed down.
That was close.
But anyway, Sharyland's football, 3rd down and 13 now after loss of 5. Longoria flushed out to the left side, is going to throw it deep and throws it out of bounds. I think he really may have been throwing that one away, as the man downfield was well covered.
Yeah, he threw it away, Mark, because he felt footsteps.
Looked like
He knew he was getting some rush.
Looked like it was intended for Bernie Cardenas around the 5-yard line, but incomplete pass.
And here you pretty much you need to go for it, Mark. You got it at your own 36-yard line. Your field goal kicker probably cannot kick one that long, so you have no choice but to go for it.
Yeah, it'd be about a 54-yard kick from here. Wind has died, so no wind advantage. And you're kind of in that tween stage where it's too far for a field goal, a little bit too short for a punt, but they're going to shift into punt formation and try to pooch this one toward the Coffin corner. It's going to catch the end zone, though, and be a touchback for
So
the
how many
Mustangs.
yards did they gain on that?
16 yards.
I would have gone for it, Mark.
And that's sometimes where coaches will do that calculus if they figure that, well, if it's going to end up at the other team's ball at the 20 anyway, maybe sometimes I'm just better going for it and risking giving up a difference of about 15 yards. But the Mustangs are back at their 20, first and 10, still plenty of time, 9:40 to go. Mustangs are down to one timeout. They used 2 in the third quarter.
And they're playing against a fired up Rattler defense.
So Mustangs do have over 200 yards on the ground, 2 of them on 2 big running plays by Campbell Spates, 75 yards and 69 yards. And here Spates spins his way forward for about 3 yards.
I mean, there's always a defender real close to the offensive player getting the handoff, Mark. They're on them right away. There's a lot of penetration by the defensive line, and then they're sending in some linebackers. Take a look at how fast they get to the run to Spates. I mean, as soon as he gets the ball, Mark, they're already on top of him. And there's 3-4 kids for the Rattlers right there.
Receiver Nick Nelson bringing in the play. It'll be Spates in the backfield with Scogan in the gun. 2 receivers to the right, the wide side of the field. They're going to hand this off. Spates trying to get to the wide side. No, Scogan keeps it wide open at the 30-yard line, down at the 40. First down and more. Taking off down the left sideline. One man chasing him, and Scogan's going to take it to the house. A 77-yard touchdown run for the quarterback, Sean Scogan, who did a major league fake. Faking it to Spates. The whole defense bid on it, and Scogan went the distance.
Well
77
said.
yards, and the Mustangs regained the lead.
They're going to go for 2, but that's well said on your part, Mark, about everybody going for the fake. And even though Campbell Spates did not touch the ball on that one, Mark, you got to give him credit because of how dangerous he is. Everybody went for the fake, and that you can't leave Sean Scoggins open. They'll make you pay for it, and he did, so they're going for 2. This is big.
Yeah, they missed an extra point on their last touchdown.
Memorial.
And Memorial wants to call timeout to talk this one over. We'll go ahead and keep it here till after the 2-point try. Memorial leading 19-14. Extra point gives them only a 6-point lead. They want to try to extend it to 7. And Mustangs just burned their last timeout. 40. Well, they have the clock moving, but I think that's just the timeout time. The clock was stopped with about 9:40 to play in the fourth quarter. So still plenty of time for Sharyland to come back in this game. Memorial still got some football to play here, but 3 big plays by the Mustangs in this game. Spates with a run of 75 yards, 69 yards, and now Scogan, after a fake to Spates, goes 77 yards.
You know, tomorrow in the monitor, when they put the stats mark, it make it look like the offense had a great night, but it's been 3 plays where they got their majority of their yards.
Yeah, Mustangs up to 295 yards on the ground tonight.
I don't think they'll throw the ball, Mark.
So it's going to be a try for 2. Split backfield. Castro and Spates behind Scogan, who's under center. Scogan's going to toss it right to Spates. Spates trying to turn the corner. Gets there and races to the corner of the end zone for 2 points. Spates gets it. So that puts the Mustangs up 21-14 with 8:45 to play here in the fourth quarter.
And they ran on the right side where they also had an extra, as a tight end, Mark. It's an extra blocker, and A.J. Castro did a good job also blocking.
So our score, 21-14 Mustangs. Let's take a quick break as we look at the touchdown run once again here on Football Night in McAllen. You see Scogan, after that fake, nobody was going to catch him.
Scogan's also on the track team, Mark, so let's not forget that.
All right, we'll be back with more Football Night in McAllen right after this.
I graduated from Nicky Rowe High School in 2001, and I started working as a paraprofessional at Milam, and then I became a professional at Garza Elementary, and then at Hendricks. So I've loved my experience as a student in McAllen ISD, and then now teaching. That's the best thing that could ever happen to me because it's very rewarding.
We're back here at DQ Fan Field at McAllen Veterans Memorial Stadium. It's been an exciting night, a lot of big plays. 5 touchdowns on the board. Mustangs lead it 21-14. 8:45 left in the game as we see Freddie Cardenas back to receive this kickoff. Sharyland with still 2 timeouts in their pocket.
Lots of explosive athletes back there for the Rattlers now.
Looks like it'll be David Mendoza to kick off. And Mendoza has a squib kick. That's going to be picked up. It's a live football and picked up at the 38-yard line. A little bit dangerous there for Sharyland, but they'll have good field position. And Mario, you're bringing up a point about Memorial having those 3 big runs tonight, and otherwise Sharyland, doing a pretty good job against the Mustang rushing attack. And you're right, Memorial touchdown runs have been of 77, 75, and 69 yards. That's 221 yards on 3 plays.
3 plays.
And all of their other plays have combined for 74 yards.
There you go. And that's why Coach Littleton loves he banks on those big plays.
But it's the big play, and we talked about that beforehand. Even though the Mustangs are conservative, they run the balls. LaGuardia carries it here, dances his way forward, and the ball comes out. The ball is loose on the field. No signal yet. Mustangs think they have it. The officials still checking. It's a big pile there at the 44-yard line. And I think they're saying Sharyland has it. It was an official signal second down. So Sharyland dodging a bullet there. A 6-yard pickup. But we talked about Memorial. They're conservative. They like to run the football, but they still have an explosive offense nonetheless because of the speed they have in their backfield. As Escalera will carry this, breaks 1 tackle at the line, and then fights his way up to the 50-yard line. And he looks like he has enough for a Sharyland first down.
Escalera's as tough as they come. He doesn't go down easy.
He only had 24 yards rushing last week. He's gotten a lot more action here tonight. Last year, had for nearly carried for over 375 yards over the course of the season. A couple of touchdowns last season. He's a senior. You can see, he's built like a lineman. Even got extra pads in there. In addition to the thigh pads and the knee pads, he had some pads on the side of his legs. 1st and 10 for Sharyland, right at midfield. Trying to get this to Escalada again as he fights his way for 2. Brought down by Caballero and a couple of other Mustangs. Sharyland down by a touchdown, 21-14. Clock running at 7:05 to play in the game.
Eddie Ramon was also in on that tackle.
Sharyland with 227 yards on the ground tonight. 102 through the air. Second down and 8, the Mustang 48. Play action. LaGuardia has time. Going to throw it long down the middle. Receiver is there. 2 defenders. I think he caught it. A flag comes down, but he caught it nonetheless. A good catch there by Tamez.
Not only was he interfered, but he also caught the pass.
Yeah, they'll decline the interference.
Number 22, defense. Penalty decline. Result of the play was first down.
It's a 36-yard gain on the completion.
Gabriel Tamez making things happen. Take a look at the replay montage. Ricochet, he just kept it. Refused, even though he was interfered with.
1st and 10. Sweep to the left as Escalada gets to the 10-yard line. Gain of 2.
Zavala on the carry?
Oh, Hector Zavala?
Yeah, I think so. But I think Edgar Longoria is going to keep the ball here. I don't think he'll give it away to anyone.
So 2nd down and 8. Solis in motion on the right side as Longoria rolls out right, throws it. It's caught by Solis, who gets out of bounds at about the 4-yard line. That'll bring up 3rd down. Rattlers 5 for 14 on 3rd down. They've got a 3rd down and 3 at the 4-yard line. Here's LaGuardia, wants to keep it. Going up the middle is hit at the line of scrimmage, still trying to fight forward, gets to the 3, ball comes out. Ball's loose and scooped up at the 9. Run back by the Mustangs at the 30, still going at the 40. One man chasing and now runs out of bounds at the 40, and I think they whistled it dead.
Yes, they did, Mark. I like your excitement, Mark.
Oh, yeah. I was getting excited, and Morales was getting excited too. See, Morales got a little bit frustrated there as he just stepped out of bounds after he finally heard the whistle.
They ruled that the progress had stopped.
Yeah, LaGuardia was still clearly standing up when this ball is stripped out of there.
And here's going to be one of the biggest plays of the game, Mark.
And there you see it on the replay.
With a 4th and 2.
And it does look like his progress was stopped.
Yeah, he was.
When the ball came out. They'll bring up 4th down and 2.
4th and 2, Mark, big play.
They're 1 for 1 on 4th down.
And here's where they will not go under center, Mark.
Yeah, they like to let LaGuardia keep it.
They're going to have to call a timeout.
Sharyland's going to use their 2nd timeout with 5:41 to play. Sharyland could kick field goal here and still has time to get the ball back and try to take the lead, but they're going to roll the dice now, down 21-14 with 5:41 to go in the game, facing a 4th and 2. They're at the 4-yard line. They need the 2-yard line to get the first down. Mustang cheerleaders excited. Been an enjoyable game here tonight. Dairy Queen officials were here earlier. I think they threw some T-shirts up into the crowd. And I know United Healthcare has a special promotion that for anybody 65 and older can get into the games for free. They get a free ticket plus a free popcorn and a drink.
That's a nice gesture by Dairy Queen.
And they started recognizing a distinguished citizen of the week.
Is it Dairy Queen or United Healthcare?
Well, United Healthcare are doing the free tickets for the senior citizens, and there we see Mr. Blizzard there, and Dairy Queen was throwing some T-shirts up into the crowd. Here they go on 4th down, and it's LaGuardia going to keep it and runs up close to the end zone. It's going to be short of the end zone, but looks like he has the first down. He kept it himself, and Mustangs stop him inside the 1, but he picks up the first down. So 1st and goal at the 1. Rattlers have had their trouble in the red zone tonight. They do have 2 touchdowns, but they've missed 2 short field goals on other occasions and threw an interception one time. Here they go, 1st and goal. Shotgun snap to LaGuardia. He's going to keep it himself and goes into the end zone untouched. Touchdown, Rattlers, but a flag is down.
Probably a defensive offside. Yep.
Penalty decline, result of the play, touchdown.
So LaGuardia goes in for his 2nd touchdown of the evening.
I would assume the Rattlers, let's say they tie this game up, Mark.
Yeah, LaGuardia's 3rd touchdown of the year. And they score 21-20 right now. Sharyland down by a point.
They're still going to be very nervous, Mark.
Valdez to attempt the extra point. Good snap and hold. Kick is up and away, and it is good. And he's 3 for 3 tonight, and the score is tied 21-21. So let's take a break. The score is tied 21-21. Memorial to get the ball with 5:20 to play in the 4th quarter. You're watching Football Night in McAllen.
McAllen ISD has offered opportunities for us to grow professionally, in the sense of allowing us to participate in workshops in which we go ahead and learn material that we bring back and share with our students, but not only with our students, but also with our fellow colleagues. Teaching moments or teaching aspects that we can go ahead and share so that it is effective not only for my students, but also might be a tool that other teachers and other colleagues can use in their own classroom.
And welcome back to DQ Fan Field. I'm Mark May with Mario Reyna. 5:20 to play in this game. It's exciting. It's 21-21. We'll see what happens in these last 5 minutes. That scoring drive, 9 plays, 62 yards for Sharyland, started at their own 38. It was Longoria. After converting on a 4th down and 2 to the 1-yard line on 1st and goal, they're able to carry it in for the touchdown, hit the extra point, and we're tied at 21.
And we're getting exactly what we expected, Mark, a tight game, an exciting game. Lots of mistakes, but it's still an exciting game.
Here's Valdez's kickoff. This is going to be high and deep, going to be caught halfway back of the end zone, and Ethan Bazan will take a knee. It'll come out to the Mustang 25-yard line. Touchdowns in this game by Sharyland. Longoria, the quarterback, has 2 rushing touchdowns, and then Adrian Solis carried it in for 1, also a short run. And then the Mustangs have 3 touchdown runs themselves, 2 from Campbell Spates and 1 from their quarterback, Sean Scugan. And all 3 of their touchdowns, the Mustang touchdowns, on long runs. Spates scoring from 75 yards and 69 yards, and Scugan scoring from 77 yards.
Well, Mark, as a defensive coordinator, I'd be very nervous at this time of the game.
See Mr. Blizzard. Mr. Blizzard's always optimistic.
Absolutely.
Never a frown on his face. 21-21 is our score. 1st and 10, wishbone backfield. Scugan wants to keep it. Might be a broken play. Scugan not sure where to go now, reversing his field, and he's going to lose yardage all the way back to the 17-yard line.
It's a big loss on a 1st down. Not the way you want to start your offensive possession with a score tied here with 5 minutes to go. This play just never looked like it was just never solid, never materialized.
Yeah, I think he was expecting to hand it off to someone. But they lose 8 yards on the play. It's 2nd down and 18.
And look out, Sharyland might send everyone on this one.
The Mustangs aren't comfortable in passing situations. They hand this off. Spates trying to bounce it outside to the right. Is able to turn the quarter now at the 20. Now tries to cut back inside as the Rattlers are there on him. He gets up to about the 27. Took 4 Rattlers to bring him down.
Good job by Daniel Pena.
Yeah, I think Juan Gomez also in there.
Bunch of Rattler defenders, and it's been that way all night long, Mark.
So it was a 10-yard run there by Spates.
It makes it a reasonable 3rd and 8.
Yeah, now they've got 3rd and 8. Still a running situation for the Mustangs, but they're 0 for 7 tonight on 3rd down.
Do we get another fake to Trevor and a keep by Sean?
We've got a split backfield now. Castro and Spates behind Scugan. Scugan, a 3-step drop, is looking to throw. It hits the slant. It's caught by Bazan at the 40-yard line. That'll be a 1st down. It's only the Mustangs' 3rd completion of the evening, but it moves the chains and comes at a perfect time in the game.
What guts by offensive coordinator Tivo Gonzalez. Everybody probably expected some kind of run. And the ball wasn't right on the money, but Ethan Bazan did a great job of adjusting. Sure hands, and they got a 1st down.
Their first 3rd down conversion of the evening. Tied at 21. Last half of the 4th quarter. Scugan wants to keep it after a fake. Gets around the left side and runs for a quick 4 or 5 yards there. They're going to keep the clock running.
I don't know how he even got any yardage on that, Mark. Once again, the Sharyland defense right on top of him while he's giving handoffs. I don't even know how they don't fumble on that. Lots of penetration all night long by the defensive line and the linebackers coming in. Once in a while, some defensive backs.
Scugan picked up 4, and Mustangs now over 300 yards rushing tonight, 301. They're facing a 2nd down and 6. 2:40 to go in the game. Clock is running. Mustangs don't have any timeouts. Snap to Scugan. Handoff Spates. Trying to get outside to the right. Cuts it back in. Has a little bit of room. Dances through traffic. Still going. 1st down and more. Now at the 40 and all the way down to the Sharyland 35-yard line. Terrific running by the junior running back.
To everyone, Mark, it looked like he was going to be brought down back at the 50, except to Campbell Spates.
Yeah, that was
very patient, very patient, Mark.
That was a very quiet, patient 21-yard run.
Nobody else can do that here.
I mean, so much patience he showed on that, to wait for his blocking to come through or waiting for the seam to develop. Clock running at 2:12 to go in the game. Skugan going to give it to Castro this time. Lead block from Spates. Hit at the 30. Still going and still fighting all the way down to about the 27-yard line. Mustangs knocking on the door as far as field goal range goes in this tie ball game. We're under 2 minutes to play.
That's right, Mark. And the fact that they've been able to move the ball, it does not look like the fact that they have no timeouts, that it might not hurt them.
Be second down and 2 for the Mustangs.
Look out for that fake to Spates and a run by Skugan.
Clock at 1:30. Skugan taking his time, 8 seconds on the play clock. Is going to hand it off. Spates over left guard and gets about 3 yards up to the 24-yard line.
And that will stop the clock, right?
Yeah, that'll stop the clock while they move the chains.
First down for the Mustangs.
And if the Rattlers want to stop the game clock, they only have one timeout.
They have one to hold on to for right now. We're a tie ball game. Mustangs first and 10 at the 24-yard line. They're going to toss it to Spates, trying to bounce it outside. Has some blocking, strung it out. Now here at the 20, still turning his way and finally makes it out of bounds. I thought he was going to get tackled inbounds, but he smartly was able to step out. A short gain there. So the clock stopped at 53 seconds left in the game. Going to bring up second down. They're at the 17, it looks like.
They're already in field goal range, Mark, but who's the field goal kicker this year for the Mustangs?
Justin Charis.
Justin Charis. He did miss an extra point, so that might be playing a factor.
I don't know what his range is, and there is a leisurely wind in the face of the Mustangs right now. With 53 seconds left, second and 3. They give it to Castro, trying to go outside, hurdles Spates, who had fallen down, and Castro is going to be tackled at about the 19-yard line. It's going to be a loss of a couple yards.
They better hurry up, Mark, because the clock is running now at 40 seconds.
And they're facing a third down now, third down at about 5. They can't stop the clock.
This would be about a 36-yard field goal.
Now, and this is a tough situation, because if they run the football and are tackled in bounds, they will not be able to stop it to get the field goal unit on there. They would be forced to go for it on fourth down. So this is kind of it right here, unless we're going to overtime. Skugan going to go play action. He's going to throw it up toward the end zone. Has a man there. It is incomplete. Incomplete. So it was intended for Nick Nelson.
I think they're going for field goal, Mark.
Sharyland had a defender back there. The ball goes incomplete with just under 8 seconds to play. 7.8 seconds left. And yeah, I think you're right. I think that you'd have to kind of go field goal at this point. The ball's still at the 19 as we take a look at that replay.
And once again, the Rattlers involved, marking a close game.
Sebastian Hinojosa on the coverage there. They
Will
bring out
Coach
the
Alame
field goal
call a
unit.
timeout to try to freeze the...
This is going to be at the 27.
Let's see
This will be a
Coach Alame
37-yard
calls a timeout,
attempt
Mark. I
with
think
7 seconds left to try to win the ball game.
Yeah, they called a timeout to try to freeze the...
Timeout.
Good timeout.
Rattlers, third and final timeout, second half.
And it will be Charis out there to attempt the field goal. Joseph Lara will be the holder.
If Charis makes this field goal, Mark, it'll be an interesting way for the Rattlers to start the season by winning on a walk-off field goal last week and then losing on a walk-off field goal. But you think 7.8 seconds, there'll be some time left? Depends on how high.
Yeah, there'll probably still be time left. It'll probably take
left.
maybe 4 or 5 seconds to execute the play. And Sharyland will have time for maybe to hurl it deep or a kickoff return. But it's kind of come down to this. Lada will be just inside the 27-yard line. It's going to be officially 37-yard attempt. Good snap and hold. Ball at the left hash. Kick is on its way, and it's going to be short. It's going to be picked up in the end zone by Solis, who's going to try to run it back out. The clock is at 0. Solis trying to run it forward. He's at the 30, still going. Now he's at the 40, and there's only one man chasing him. He's cutting back inside, has several blockers around him. Now another Mustang misses. 3 Mustangs miss him. Solis still trying to go, now tackled from behind at the 30-yard line in Mustang territory. A 75-yard return there by Solis, and oh, if he could have scored, this place would have gone bonkers. And we've had a series of wild plays in this game, and why not one to end it, and why not overtime?
Let's go overtime. Second time this year that the Rattlers are going into overtime, Mark, and the third time because they went into overtime last year.
Yeah, the kick was high, and it was on target but short. And Solis picked it up about midway through the end zone. And good hustle there by the Mustangs to chase him down. You can see all the Sharyland players in that sideline going nuts as they anticipated him running it all the way back. And Solis was gassed there at the end. He was finally tackled by the holder, Joseph Lara, who chased him down about 80 yards and was just breathing a huge sigh of relief that they kept him out of the end zone. So 21-21 is our score as we head to overtime.
Well, we know that in overtime, both teams will have an opportunity, unless it's not like college, no? Or, I mean, they've changed
exactly like college.
Is it?
Yeah,
So,
just like college ball, they'll get it at the 25-yard line. They'll alternate possessions. So we see Coach Ron Adame in the red, Coach Bill Littleton in the white.
you always want to be, if you win the toss, you always want to go on defense first, so you can see what the offense did.
So the referee, Fred Gracia, explaining things. Been a very exciting, entertaining game here tonight. So we take a look at the overtime rules. Yeah, the game clock is no longer a factor. Coin toss will determine who gets to go first. You can choose if you want to go first or second, but like you pointed out, Mario, usually the winner of the toss wants to be on defense first. The teams will alternate possessions from the 25-yard line. They continue until that tie is broken. And if it gets to a third possession, then you have to start going for 2-point conversions instead of extra points. Adame pointed over toward the south goal.
The coaches are having
if
fun.
He wants to defend that goal. Good sportsmanship there. Two head coaches. They've both been through these kinds of wars before.
1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
No overtime here.
Headed to the south goal.
Week 2 of the exciting 2018 season. McAllen Memorial and Sharyland. You know, this is the third year at least that Memorial has played a Sharyland team. The last 2 years it was Pioneer, you might remember.
That's
they beat
correct.
Pioneer both times.
And when these teams, before the split at Sharyland, when they were in the same district, Mark, they really went back and forth. Usually the winner of that game would end up as district champions.
And I also believe each team gets one timeout per overtime session.
The Mustangs will be going on offense first.
Let's see, it looks like the offensive players. So yeah, Memorial will go first. Sharyland's going to defend the south goal. The wind has kind of died down, so wind not really a factor at this point.
And this is where the conditioning plays a factor, Marcus. 4 quarters.
And the hot September. It's still humid out there.
Who's in the best condition?
And we've
Let's see what Spates does.
4 missed kicks in this game also. As on first down, Scogan's going to run to the left side. Crosses the 20, still going, first down and more, down to around this 17-yard line. Good running there by the quarterback. We've seen 4 missed kicks in this game. The Mustangs have missed an extra point. They missed a field goal there at the end of regulation.
That's right.
Sharyland has missed 2 field goals, including 1 at the end of the first half. So both teams had their chances to win this game. Both teams still have a chance to win this game.
And I don't think, based on how the field goal kicking on the Memorial side has gone, the Mustangs are going to go for a touchdown. I don't think they'll kick a field goal.
So 1st and 10 for the Mustangs up to the 12-yard line in Sharyland territory. We're in the first overtime session, tied at 21. Scogan going to go to the right side out of the gun.
Touchdown.
Has block. He's at the 10, racing for the corner, and got it. Touchdown. Using that speed, Scogan goes in for his second touchdown of the evening. He had 2 carries for 25 yards on this overtime possession.
Nothing
in for a
fancy,
12-yard
Mark.
score.
Nothing fancy, just using the athletic ability of one of your better players on offense. And that could also play a factor, Mark, that the defense could be focusing on Campbell Spates. And you forget about Sean Scoogan. So here's a big extra point, Mark.
Yeah, the extra points are crucial. We've seen the kicking game's importance in this game. Here's the extra point tries up.
Nope.
And no good.
No good.
And that is crucial. It's
It is
27-21 now, our score. And Memorial's defense will have to hold.
Something they're going to have to work on real hard, because you can't afford to have those kind of miscues and opportunities. This district, you add the two far San Juan Alamo schools, PSJ and PSJ North, are looking good. Mission beat Mission Vets in week 1. That was a big win. So here we go.
Okay, Sharyland's first possession. 27-21, they trail. They must score on this possession or the game is over. LaGuardia wants to keep it. Finds daylight on the right side. Darts through near a first down up to about the 15-yard line. Picked up 10 yards.
Michael Morales saving a touchdown.
21 first downs in this game now for Sharyland. 242 yards on the ground they've had. So you see that replay. A lot of tired bodies out there. It's been a tough game. As here's Escalada up the middle. He has room across the 10 to about the 8-yard line. Picks up 7.
And I do want to let you know, Mark, that the Rattlers played a lot of close games last year, and they won most of them. They have a knack of winning those games.
So it'll be second down and about 4. Snap to LaGuardia. Looks like he wants to keep it. Pitches it outside left side. That's Tamez. Memorial has that one smelled out, and they're going to nail him for a loss back at the 10-yard line. Great
well
defending there.
played.
Axel Hernandez.
And when you throw a gimmick play out there that surprises the defense, sometimes it works, but this time the Mustangs did a good job.
Axel Hernandez and I think Christian Islas in there on that tackle. So it's third down and 4. 4-down territory for Sharyland here in the first overtime.
Expect a rollout.
Mustangs up by 6. LaGuardia will hand this off. It's a reverse back the other way. Mustangs appear to have it smelled out as Solis with it, and Solis is going to get hit. It's going to be another loss of 4 yards back to the 14, and that'll bring up 4th down.
And that's a big play, Mark, because once again, they haven't seen this all night. Took a lot of discipline not to fall for the fakes. And the yards lost on that play, Mark, and it's pretty much a 4th and 9 and a passing down.
Diego Villarreal had the first shot at Solis that delayed him.
They're going to call a timeout.
Caballero came in there and made the stop. A couple of other Mustangs in there, including Axel Hernandez. So the Mustangs defense, a brilliant job there, not to fall for the fake. First time we've seen any kind of gadget play by Sharyland all night.
Back-to-back plays.
Yeah, back-to-back plays. Sharyland goes back -2 and then -4. So now they're facing a 4th down and goal from the 14-yard line.
And sometimes when you have your own offense clicking and you try to throw a surprise that doesn't work, then you start second-guessing yourself. Just run the ball the way you were. LaGuardia's having a lot of success on the rollouts.
And let me correct myself, it's actually 4th and 9.
Yes, 4th and 9. They have to
can pick
pass.
up a first down at the 5-yard line.
But they have to pass.
4th down and 9 from the 5. This could be the game. 27-21 our score. Memorial on top. LaGuardia plenty of time. Going to throw it to the end zone. Incomplete. It's incomplete. There is no flag. The game is over and the Mustangs have won.
And the Rattlers are complaining, and we can see the replay. We can take a look at the replay.
Yeah, that was intended for Gabriel Tamez running a slant route.
Gabriel Tamez was complaining that he was being held, and he's right, Mark. But was the ball over his shoulder at that time? Can we take a look at that replay one more time?
And it looked like the Mustangs may have had a hand in there, I have to admit.
Yeah, I'd like to see that replay one more time.
As
but it was
Memorial
exciting.
Sharyland 27-21 here in overtime. Great run there by the Mustangs to win their first game this season. They're 1-1. Sharyland is also 1-1. Both teams going to shake hands now at midfield. And yeah, I have to admit, I think Sharyland had a bit of a case there.
But the big deal was the ball already over the shoulder.
Yeah, the ball was a little bit
But there
high.
was a hand there.
And there was a hand in there. But that's our ball game. Jake Berry's going to have the post-game show in just a moment.
I enjoyed it, Mark.
Wins it 27-21. Some final numbers here. Memorial 363 yards on the ground tonight. They had 4 touchdowns in this game. 2 by Campbell Spades, 2 by Sean Scugan. Spades' touchdown runs were 75 yards and 69 yards. He also had a 2-point conversion run. Scugan's 2 touchdowns went for 77 yards and from 12 yards out. And the Mustangs got some bullets here tonight. There were some missed kicks. I'm sure Coach Littleton will want to work on those kicking game a little bit as they get ready for their next game. And our next broadcast, by the way, will feature the McAllen Bulldogs going up against the Memorial Mustangs again, going up against Edinburgh Bela's Wildcats, or Sabercats. It was one of those cat schools, but a good win there for Memorial, and a well-fought game between Memorial and Sharyland. Memorial's other numbers: completed 3 for 7 on the passing for 16 yards. They had 12 first downs tonight. And for Sharyland, 243 yards rushing, 148 passing. And they had 21 first downs. Their 3 touchdowns come from their quarterback, Edgar Longoria, of short runs of 3 yards and 1 yard. And then Adrian Solis had a touchdown run of 5 yards. And that was the Sharyland scoring. So the Mustangs will be at home next week. They'll take on the Edinburgh Bela Sabercats. And they'll be facing one of the top teams in the Valley. That'll be a good test for the Mustangs. So take a look at some highlights here. This is from before the beginning of the third quarter. See both teams coming out. Let's look at some of the second half highlights. There's Longoria, the Sharyland passer, who gave Memorial fits all night. Memorial was able to sack him on that play. I think the only sack of the game, if I remember correctly. There's Longoria threw this one. This was picked off by Morales. That was in the second quarter, I believe. And here's Longoria running in for a touchdown. Later in the game. Another good defensive play there by the Mustangs. That was Murray making that tackle. And now here's some offensive show. Here's his Spates. This is his second touchdown run right here. Look at this. He gets into daylight and just turns it on. And you could see Sharyland defenders had angles on him on that play. But with pure speed, Spates finds the end zone from 69 yards out. That was his second of the night and his 4th of the year. And here goes Solis. He was able to score. Great game by both sides here tonight. And then Memorial, here's the fake to Spates, and Scugan keeps it going to the right side of your screen there. And Scugan is off to the house there. This would go 77 yards. For the touchdown. And there we go. Some terrific play there by the Mustangs and Sharyland here tonight. The big play seemed to be on the Mustang side. Sharyland, the team tended to grind it out. Either way, they got their points. Memorial scoring on the first possession of overtime to take a 27-21 lead. Extra point was missed. Sharyland coming back, but then had a 4th and 9 situation. They had an incomplete pass and had a case for a penalty on that play, but that's the way the game goes sometimes, and the game was ruled over after the incomplete pass, and the Mustangs had won it by a score of 27-21. Here's Jake Berry.
Hey, this is Jake Berry with the Sideline Show, the post-game show. I'm here with Coach Bill Littleton and Sean Scugan, the quarterback, the victorious McAllen Memorial Mustangs. Coach, very tough Sharyland team. You guys were resilient coming back to even the score up, take the lead, and then they came back, tied it up, and then you won in overtime. What can you tell me about tonight's game?
Well, it wasn't the best game we ever played in our lives, but I'll tell you one thing. Those young men right over there played their tails off, and they did a great job. And I got to take my hat off to them. They never quit. They kept battling, and we found a way to win. In the end, that's all that counts. We won the ball game. That's what we wanted to do.
What did you guys mix up this week that was different from last week?
Well, I think we got a little better on defense. You know, I think we played a lot better than what we did last week on defense. Still got to improve some. Offensively, we did okay. We still got to get some things fixed over there, but we're going to be a good football team for us over with.
And this young man, what did he do tonight? He had some spectacular runs, you know, very poised behind center. What can you say about him?
Well, he's just a heck of an athlete and a great young man, and he made some big plays. He made some big checks for us. He got us out of a couple of bad plays that went for touchdowns, and that's what our quarterbacks do. When we're good, our quarterback lead us on the field, and they can check and do what we want them to do. That's when we go a long ways.
Thanks, Coach. Coach Bill Littleton, McAllen Memorial Mustangs. Sean Scoogan, we thought for a minute that we might have jinxed you by doing that interview before the game, like the Madden curse. But it seemed like, you know, there were some center quarterback issues with the snap. But then you guys, you know, you seemed to get that right, and then all of a sudden you just started flowing.
Yeah, you know, the first half they had us bottled up, and you know, our teammates were getting a little frustrated. And I have all the faith in our coaching staff. We have a great coaching staff. I sat there and said, hey, they'll get us right in the second half. You know, Coach Littleton, you already know him. He's pretty much a Hall of Fame coach. Being able to play for him, and you know, I'm sure these coaches, you know, they've all been with him for a long time, and they pick up what he gives out. He's a great teacher, and I know when we got them, they'll get us out of any bad situation. And I just put all my faith in my coaching staff, and I was looking forward to the second half for sure.
Now, he mentioned that you did some checks out of some plays. What did you see tonight?
You know, you just look for the soft spot in the defense. You know, I've been lucky enough to be quarterback here for 3 years, so they give me a lot of freedom when it comes to that. I can pretty much go in and change the formation and just do whatever I do, and I'm really happy to play for this because I kind of get to be the coach on the field, and I just love to be able to do that, just have that freedom.
Now, 2 tough weeks, you know, or 2 tough games and 2 tough weeks. You know, this game going into overtime, what was that like? You and Campbell seemed to put the workload on your shoulders tonight.
You know, we get the glory, but really it's our offensive line and our wide receivers. They come in, they block very well. That's what we do. We run the football and we throw it a little bit too, but they block very well. And whenever we score, you can check the film. There's bodies on bodies, people are on the ground. So, you know, we run hard, but they block a lot harder than we run, that's for sure.
Well, you had a heck of a game tonight. It looks like you guys have right in that ship that was, you know, against that tough Hannah team that you played last week. You guys look good tonight.
Oh, yeah. I think we played very well together. Our defense, I mean, a bunch of young guys stepped up in a very, very big moment. I mean, you could ask them. None of them have been in overtime. I mean, that's only my second time being in overtime. Last time being my sophomore year. So that was a big change for me, too. And just for them to just have the resilience to stay in, because I know they were tired. No huddle team. They're tired. Those guys are tired. We're all tired. Hats off to Sharyland. We played a great game. I'm never going to forget this game.
I imagine you're a little bit less tired now, but congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Sean Scoogan, the victorious quarterback in tonight's game versus Sharyland. The Memorial Mustangs win 27-21. For everyone at MITV and McAllen ISD, I'm Jake Berry. Thank you. We'll see you next week.